Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, one of the best players on the team that has been on a very good hot streak, 318 on a 11-game hit streak, our guy, Cole Clutch Young. And on the right, second baseman stud for the Baltimore Orioles, Jackson Holliday. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in right field, it is Victor Robles. Batting second, playing center field, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting third and DHing today for Seattle, Randy Arozarena. They made a quick swap here. So let me make the swap as well. They've been making a lot of moves lately. Batting fourth, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, playing left field, Rob Refsnyder. So going in just a few minutes ago, they had Randy in left and Rob at DH, but they flip-flopped those positions just moments ago. So I had to make the quick switch as well. Batting sixth, playing third base, it is Patrick Wisdom. Batting seventh, catching today for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Batting eighth, playing shortstop for the second time in his career here in Seattle, Cole Clutch Young. And batting ninth, playing second base, Ryan Bliss. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 4-4 record, ERA of 3.79, it is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Baltimore Orioles. Leading off for the Orioles at DH, Taylor Ward. Batting second at shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. Batting third at first base, Pete Alonso. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Colton Cowser. Batting fifth, playing center field tonight, Leody Taveras. Batting sixth, playing third base, Kobe Mayo. Batting seventh, playing second base, Jackson Holliday. Batting eighth, playing right field, Tyler O'Neill. And batting ninth, catching today for Baltimore, Sam Huff. And on the mound for the Orioles, 3-6 record, ERA of 6.29, it is Trevor Rogers. Tridents up, let's go M's. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. So I got a couple updates based on some injuries, as well as a few swaps with the lineup. So first off, Nick Davila recalled from the Tacoma Rainiers, and Cooper Criswell, who gave up the 2 runs 2 days ago and was somewhat decent yesterday. He's on the 15-day injured list with a right shoulder strain, so we won't have to worry about Cooper Criswell for at least a few weeks, and we will see if Nick Davila can step up in his absence. JP Crawford, he's obviously on the 10-day IL, and he's been on there for a few days already. Still has some swelling in that hand since he got hit from Framber Valdez, but hopefully things will progress, and I imagine they're going to go through a few more x-rays, and hopefully there isn't anything broken, but the hand is still swollen up, and again, the rivalry will continue, not only with Framber Valdez, but with the Houston Astros and the Detroit Tigers. And an update on Cal Raleigh, playing for the Tacoma Rainiers. He looks like he's locked and loaded. 2-run jack in his first at bat, and then he ended up getting a grand salami. Ended up having a great day, 6 RBI day with 2 home runs, trying to do his best impersonation of Josh Naylor last night, but also got a 2-run blast on top of that. So again, Cal looking like he's getting into, obviously MLB form, and hopefully we'll be able to get Cal back sooner than later. But a great sign, a 2-run jack in the first at bat, a grand salami right after that. 6 RBIs today by Cal Raleigh for the Tacoma Rainiers. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Definitely looking forward to seeing what happens here today. And again, what a magnificent way to find a way to get the victory yesterday, winning 6-3. Even though there was some moments of fear that we wouldn't be able to hang on. Obviously we know how Mooney has been, and the bullpen has been a little shaky with Brash and a few of the others. But again, the bats started to come alive, and we had some amazing defense. Ryan Bliss. You don't really expect anything from a guy making his, debut in 2026, but actually played pretty damn well offensively and defensively, getting the sac fly to get us on the board and being a part of that big play with Julio, getting that out at second base late in the game. So again, this is definitely one of the more challenging lineups since we are going against a lefty. We got our strong lefty lineup, obviously still on the bench, but we may see a little bit of Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone later in the matchup. But again, we just have to try to do the best that we can with what we have to work with. And again, definitely a challenging game yesterday, but we got the job done. But again, if Logan Gilbert pitches well and we can get enough, out of Julio and Randy and Naylor and Cole Young, hopefully we'll be able to find a way to get the victory again. And then with Colt Emerson, second day not in the lineup. With him, obviously back spasms and then obviously back soreness. So kind of like Josh Naylor a few days back where he missed a couple games. Hopefully Colt Emerson will be in the lineup obviously tomorrow, but out again for the second game with the back spasms and the back soreness. So again, we're definitely in a position right now where, you don't really expect a whole lot with all of these injuries. But again, 35-32. We're 16-16 on the road. We need to improve on that. The Baltimore Orioles are 31-36, 19-16 at home. But even with the weaker righty lineup, I still think that we can win this game. And hopefully we'll bring the bats early and often. Magic number for the Mariners will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And obviously with Logan Gilbert, we want him to give up 2 runs or less. Maximum that Logan can give up with us probably still winning is 3, because we just don't really know what we're going to be getting out of the bullpen. If he gives up 3 or more, who knows how many the bullpen will give up, maybe 1, 2, 3 themselves. So hopefully we can get the job done here today, and I'm definitely looking forward to the matchup. First pitch now will be here in just a couple minutes. Dark Passenger in the building, what's good? Power Code in the building, what's good? Jerry in the building, what's good? Hawks in the building. I did watch a little bit of the end of that game. What a crazy game. And then obviously seeing them play in Vegas for the first time. And Dominic Canzone ended up having the record for longest home run until that game. But a wild finish with the Brewers and A's yesterday. And again, we will see if we can have a matchup like that in the near future as well. Love in the building. What's good? Daniel in the building. All day in the building. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. And finally, after back and forth emails with StreamYard, they finally fixed the issue with the lagging with the photos and, dropping the ticker with my little header, off and showing me in between, as you have seen with the photos. Everything is good to go now. And it took 4 days for them to figure it out. And obviously they were trying to say it was my internet. And I told them, listen, I've been using your service 6-7 years every day, pretty much, and I'm not saying I'm an expert on, their services, but I think I know how, the program works, especially if I'm, working with all these buttons and I'm, managing, not only doing the play-by-play and the color, but I'm having to broadcast the game and produce the game on the fly. And finally, they made the proper adjustments after I had to take screenshot after screenshot of my internet. I have a gig, so it's not me, and they just did an update, on their system. So I thought it was kind of funny that, they do an update on their system and then they point the blame at me. It's like, I think I would know if it's something that I would have done or if it was an internet issue. But, after a lot of back and forth with 4, 5, 6, 7 emails, they finally got it working. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it was obviously, done here today. I thought it would maybe be a few more days, but, we can at least put that behind us. And now everything should be back to normal with the photos and the stream. All right, let's go, baby. And I don't really know what we're going to be getting out of Randy. Going from left field to DH. They swapped him and Refsnyder, but I guess it gives a chance for Refsnyder to show that maybe he can play left instead of just right field. And again, we will see how it all turns out here this afternoon. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, just getting situated here with all my screens. All right, Trevor Rogers on the mound, 3-6 record with an ERA of 6.29. So yes, he is a lefty, but again, there should be some wiggle room with his ERA so high. And then obviously leading off, playing right field, since we're going against a lefty, is Victor Robles. I like the move instead of having Cole Young there. We already tried him a few times, and Young has obviously been hot. 318 batting average and an 11-game hit streak. But that should help the bottom of the order with Garver. Obviously, Cole Young and Bliss at the bottom of the order. And then we can have Robles, Julio, and Randy at the top. Naylor, Refsnyder, and Wisdom in the middle. So we'll see where it goes here moving forward. But, again, it will be a little challenging with one of the weaker lineups, that we've seen with no JP Crawford, no Colt Emerson. Obviously, Cal is getting into MLB form with 2 home runs today, a 2-run jack, and a grand salami for the Tacoma Rainiers. So that's a great sign that Cal is getting closer to being back on the team, and he's being able to hit with power. But again, we will see how this goes, and hopefully Victor will be able to get at least a hit today, hopefully 2, and we'll be able to kind of start us off here on this Tuesday afternoon. All right, baby. We are just getting situated and ready here. All right, here we go. First pitch from Rogers to Robles. Low and at the knees. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Jimbo in the building. What's good? 1-0 pitch. And Robles with a hard hit ball. Deep left field. All the way back to the wall. Whoa! And caught. Wow. Cowser had to actually get that ball on the wall, shoulder hitting the wall, and he didn't drop it. And again, if he doesn't get to that ball, that easily could have been a stand-up double. But again, Victor Robles showing some power, but unfortunately missing a home run by maybe 15, 20 inches. It was pretty high up on the wall, but again, Cowser with the good defense, and that is 1 up and 1 down. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. First pitch into Julio with a 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, low and at the knees, 0-1 count. Let's go, J-Rod. On deck will be Randy Arozarena, DHing today, not playing left field. And Julio pops up. Lonzo is there, right next to the pitcher, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of these guys to, work the count. We're definitely going to need, some action early and often. And again, we're very home run dependent, and hopefully we'll be able to get a few homers here today as well. Next up is Randy Arozarena. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch to Randy from Rogers. 4-seam fastball, low and at the knees, 94 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Trevor Rogers on the mound. Randy Arozarena in the box. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss with the cutter. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 0-2 pitch, line drive, and caught. And Gunnar Henderson makes a very athletic play, to say the least, and that is 3 up and 3 down. All right, let's go to the bottom of the first inning and see who's up next here for the Orioles. Leading off for the Orioles at DH, Taylor Ward. Batting second at shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. And batting third, first baseman, Pete Alonso. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 4-4 record, ERA of 3.79, it's Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. And remember, he started off the season 0-2. So for him to be at 4-4, you're definitely seeing, some progression, out of Logan Gilbert. Is he exactly where we want him? Not necessarily, but he's getting better than what he was at the beginning of the year. Same thing with Luis Castillo. Unfortunately, Wu and Kirby were pretty hot early on, and they hit a little bit of a wall. And obviously, we know Bryce Miller and Emerson Hancock are our two best for now. But that doesn't mean that Wu and Kirby can't join them, pretty soon, because obviously they have Kirby up next tomorrow, and then Brian Wu. So a good opportunity for those two guys to get back on track. And then obviously we'll have Bryce Miller on the first game against the Nats. So, it's a luxury, to be able to have 5 quality pitchers and Luis Castillo. But again, if we can get Castillo, up and running, as well as Logan Gilbert, and good job by Mooney last night, even though he's having a terrible season overall for us, in our Mariners standards. But it's just nice to be able to see certain players get better. But as soon as some of these guys get better, then we start to see some of the others that were good kind of hitting a wall with Brash and a few others in the pen. But, hopefully we'll be able to put it together with all of these injuries and kind of up and down play. And again, I was looking at the Stat Nerd websites, as well as the projections with Vegas. They still have the Mariners as a top 4, team in MLB. Obviously we know that the Braves and the Brewers and the Dodgers are killing it in the National League, and they have only one team ahead of us right now, the Yankees. So again, even with all these problems, we're still one of the best teams in baseball, even though it doesn't feel like it. And a first pitch there to Taylor Ward, and a little dribbler into right field to Victor Robles, and a good start there from the former Angel, Taylor Ward. Next up in the 2-hole, shortstop Gunnar Henderson. On deck will be Pete Alonso. And I'm just so happy that they finally fixed the problem instead of, kind of pointing the finger at me like it's my issue. It's like if you end up doing an update on a phone or on a computer system and then things go wrong, typically that means it's the company's fault on whatever they did. It ended up messing up some of the settings. And that's exactly what happened. But, after numerous screenshots to prove to them that I have fast enough internet and I've been using their system for, like 5, 6, 7 years every day, I'm glad it's finally working. First pitch from Gilbert to Henderson, fouls it off right down the middle, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away with a splitter, 82 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Henderson. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss with the splitter, low and away, 82 miles an hour there by Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first, Taylor Ward with no outs. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mariners and the Orioles. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gunnar Henderson. Two pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gunnar Henderson. Let's go, Logan. 3-2 pitch, popped up, shallow center field. Get it, Julio. And there we go. No fly zone. Julio Rodriguez doing a great job. Had a few struggles, early in the season, kind of overrunning a few balls that from singles turned into doubles, but defense has been really on point lately. Great job, Julio, and that is 1 away. Next up, in the 3-hole, the former New York Met, Pete Alonso. On deck is the 4-hole left fielder, Colton Cowser. First pitch to Alonso, kind of a half swing there. Slider, 88 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-1 pitch. Whoa, bat goes flying. And that is a big swing and a miss. And Alonso's bat goes all the way into the crowd. Seattle Mariner fan ends up getting the ball, or getting the bat, excuse me. And we'll see if they end up giving him something in return. Obviously, the Alonso wants his bat back. And obviously the Oriole fans are, obviously they don't care about anybody in Seattle. Are they going to let him keep it? All right, looks like the Mariner fan actually gets to keep the bat. Wow. What a souvenir, a Pete Alonso bat. I mean, obviously getting a bat from a Mariner player probably would have been more preferred, but I mean, you'll take any bat that comes into the crowd, and if it doesn't, hurt anybody, and then you end up getting it. Great job there by that Mariner fan in Baltimore. Ends up getting a Pete Alonso bat and gets to keep it. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees into the dirt. Good stop there by Mitch Garver. And now him and his buddies are taking a photo of the bat. One of his buddies has got a Cougar hat on, so a Washington State Cougar alum or fan. And then obviously looks like a girlfriend or wife. And then obviously him at the end with a Mariner t-shirt on. And hopefully that'll be a good omen for us moving forward. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Slider 89 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Alonso. 1-2 pitch, little dribbler, ends up going through. Victor Robles gets it in shallow right field. And that is another hit here for Baltimore, there for Pete Alonso. I mean, they showed him on TV multiple times, so there's not going to be any doubt about that. I mean, it's not like a normal person that goes to the game, walks out of the game with a bat, unless it's a special circumstance. So more times than not, it's usually like a home run ball that has to get traded for, a bat and whatnot. But every once in a while, you'll see a bat go into the crowd. More times than not, they make them return it. But every once in a blue moon, they let them keep it. And great souvenir for that fan. First pitch into Cowser is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mariners and the Orioles. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Cowser. One pitch from Gilbert, low and away. Splitter missing there by Logan. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mariners and the Orioles. Come on, Logan. A little shaky start here in the first inning for Logan. 2-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour, missing the corner by probably an inch or 2. 3 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mariners and the Orioles. Could really use a double play sooner than later. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour by Logan. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. Yeah, it's going to be one of the more challenging lineups. There's no doubt about that. No JP, no Colt Emerson, no Donnie, no Cal. But the way that we've been playing lately, I feel that we can still find ways to win. It really just is going to depend on the pitching today with Logan as well as the bullpen. Hopefully we can get to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, but it may end up being a game that ends up being 3 runs or less. And obviously in 1-run games, we played, tied for the most, I believe with like 23, and we're not that good. I think we're like 10-13 in 1-run games. And I think I saw on one of the Stat Nerd websites, I think the Diamondbacks are there, but they're like 13 and 11. So they got a little bit better of a record, but we have the most one-run games, which doesn't really surprise me. And obviously with the Diamondbacks, they play in a lot of close games just like us. And we just got to be able to figure out, how to win in those close games. And honestly, the record is bad in one-run games because of Mooney. We would have a better record, an above 500 record, if he was able to close out games. 3-2 pitch. And that ends up being a walk. Bases loaded for Leody Taveras. Come on, Logan. With this, kind of weaker lineup, we can't, afford for you to kind of shit the bed early. Come on, Gilbert. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Leody Taveras now in the box. First pitch from Gilbert to Taveras, fouls that one off, 0-1 count. And if they end up switching to a righty, hopefully we'll get Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone for a few at-bats later in the game. We may need it. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the slider, 88 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike. From Gilbert to Taveras. Already bases loaded with 1 out, and we desperately need a double play to get out of this jam. And if they do score, hopefully it's only 1 run. We don't want to get down 2-3-4-5-0 early. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball high and away. 97 miles an hour there by Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Leody Taveras. 1-2 pitch. Fouls that one off right down the middle. Splitter, 81 miles an hour by Gilbert. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 1 out. Got to find a way to get this double play here. Didn't think that we'd have to bust out the Mariner Moose in the first inning, but here we are. One-two pitch, low and away. Splitter missing, 80 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Taveras. Come on, Mariners. Obviously, we need Logan to be good today if we have any chance, as well as the bullpen. One of the weaker lineups we've seen this year. 2-2 pitch. In foul territory and goes into the 4th row. Great catch by that fan. Caught it in his hat. Wow. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Time is called. Two-two pitch inside. Holy hell. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 1 out. Come on, Logan. If Mooney and Castillo can turn it around, you got to. There's a reason why Gilbert used to be top 3, and now he's probably 5 out of 6. And the only pitcher that he might be better than is Castillo. But if Castillo starts to get a little consistency, Gilbert might be our worst pitcher right now, as far as starters are concerned, at least as of late. And Julio with a diving attempt. Did he get it? Runner tags up from 3rd. Good defense there by Julio. That could have been really bad. Runner tags up from 3rd and scores. Did Julio actually get it here? Let's look. Yes, he does. Great catch there by Julio Rodriguez. And obviously with the bases loaded, too far away to be able to get another out there. But Julio tried to be able to try to get a double play there, but just not in time. 1-0 Baltimore. Now we just got to limit the damage and make sure they don't score anymore this particular inning. 1-0 Orioles with 2 outs with runners at 1st and 2nd. Next up is Kobe Mayo. Great job, Julio. Well, for baseball, it's consistency. and again, obviously this version of Mooney is not something that we're used to, but again, we just have to see if he can put together, back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back good games, which we haven't really seen a whole lot this year, but did a good job yesterday getting the job done, but we did have a big lead, so less pressure on him instead of him coming in when the game is tied or where we're only up a run. That's usually when he really struggles, but we'll see. First pitch, big swing and a miss to Mayo, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Mayo. Slider 87 miles an hour, missing, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Baltimore. 1-1 pitch. High and inside, four-seam fastball missing by Logan. Definitely not one of his better starts here in 2026. But again, if you can just limit the damage, and especially with bases loaded with, only an out or 2 outs, again, if they score 1, fine, but got to keep it to 1. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nasty pitch there with the slider, 86 miles an hour by Gilbert. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 O's. Mike in the building. What's good? Mayo calls time. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Two-two pitch. That's strike 3, baby. There we go. Beautiful slider. And again, terrible start for Logan, but let's be real. We've seen the Mariners give up 3, 4, 5, 6 runs, in the first inning this year. So for them to have bases loaded and we only give up 1, obviously it's not ideal, but in all circumstances, that's a win. All right, let's see if we can make up for that run that they ended up getting on the board, and let's see if we can get a run of our own. Trident's up. Let's go M's. End of the first inning, 1-0 Baltimore. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners this year, 40-plus years on the radio for Rick Riz, and we dedicate every stream this season to the icon and legend who's retiring after this season, Rick Riz. We love you. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Fresh off a grand salami and the MVP of last night's game, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting second and playing left field for the first time, Rob Refsnyder. And batting third, playing third base in the 6th hole, Patrick Wisdom. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 53 subs to go to 24,300. Looks like we gained a couple subs since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 51 subs to go to 24,300. We just hit 6.1 million views a few days ago, so I appreciate every single one of you. And let's see where we're at on the likes. Okay, we're at 40. Good start. 60 to 100. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube, and we're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. Trevor Rogers on the mound, 3-6 record, ERA of 6.29. And regardless of record or ERA, Mariners typically struggle, with a left-handed pitcher because we have our weaker righty lineup. No Johnny Pareda, no Dominic Canzone, no Luke Raley. Instead, Garver, Refsnyder, and Robles. But that doesn't mean that those guys can't step up today. But definitely no J.P. Crawford, no Colt Emerson. We should have Colt in the lineup hopefully tomorrow. But again, a lot of things going against us. But great to be able to see, Cal Raleigh hit 2 home runs today, a 2-run jack and a grand salami for the Tacoma Rainiers. So hopefully he'll be back on the team here sooner than later. It looks like it'll be before the All-Star break, which is a good thing for us because we could definitely use him. Obviously, Pareda has stepped up in a big way in his absence, but obviously if we can get Cal hitting like that for the Seattle Mariners, that'll really give us that boost and that lift that we need. First pitch to Josh Naylor is outside, 1-0 count. Sinker, 92 miles an hour there by Trevor Rogers. 1 ball and no strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Baltimore. 1-0 pitch. Naylor shows bunt and pulls back at the last minute, takes a strike. Sinker low and away, 93 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rogers to Naylor. 1-1 pitch. A little foul tip rolls towards first and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rogers to Naylor. One-two pitch, low and at the knees. Changeup, 88 miles an hour. Getting away there from Sam Huff. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Naylor. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Nick Davila getting the call up from the Tacoma Rainiers. Cooper Criswell, obviously on the 15-day IL. And Naylor pops up into shallow right field, and it drops. There we go. We like that. We need to be able to get going here early and often, especially with a weaker lineup. And obviously the hot streak continues for our guy Nails, Josh Naylor. Great job. And that ball landing right in front of Tyler O'Neill. All right, next up, playing left field for the first time, Rob Refsnyder. First pitch to Refsnyder, dribbles it towards third, and foul, out of play. 0-1 count. On deck will be Patrick Wisdom. And hopefully we'll be able to get a few home runs today. We're very home run dependent, as everyone knows. Great job there by Josh Naylor, at least getting us on board here early with a single. 0-1 pitch, a little dribbler up the middle. Run, Rob! And just in time with the out, let's see if the Mariners challenge. Refsnyder is immediately running into the dugout, so it looks like it was in time, but at least Naylor ends up getting to second and no double play. We can't afford, to have a lot of double plays against us, as well as the base running hasn't really been that ideal. Alonso ends up falling down, but, getting the foot on the bag just in time. Good defense there by the O's, and that is 1 away. First pitch in there to Patrick Wisdom. Big swing and a miss, high and away, four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, takes a strike. No balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Wisdom. Oh, 2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at second. Josh Naylor with 1 out. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Baltimore. Come on, Wisdom. We don't really have a whole lot of expectations for Refsnyder, Wisdom, Garver, or Bliss. So 4 guys out of 9, not ideal, but if some of the others can step up, that would be great. Hard hit ball to Alonso and dives towards the bag. Alonso's been falling down a lot in this series already. Again, some of the throws have been a little off, so he's had to kind of contort his body like Naylor typically does at first as well, but bobbles that ball and then has to dive head first to first base. But hell, whatever way you got to do it. Same thing with Naylor. Sometimes you got to find a way to get the out, and another good defensive play even after the bobble there by Pete Alonso. Good effort. And that is 2 away. Naylor gets to third. All right, next up is Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. See if we can get an RBI single or maybe a little Soto Mojo and Mariner magic here by Mitch. First pitch to Mitch Garver is a ball, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, popped up. Should be a routine play for the O's. They got 3 Oriole defenders converging on the play. And O'Neill ends up making the play there in right field, and that is out number 3. We leave a runner stranded at third, Josh Naylor, but hopefully that'll be a good sign of other guys getting on base later in the game. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning and see who's up next here for the Orioles. Next up for the Orioles in the 7-hole, second baseman Jackson Holliday. Batting second in the 8-hole, right fielder Tyler O'Neill. And batting third in the 9-hole, catcher Sam Huff. Tridents up. Let's go M's. 51 subs to go to 24,300. Gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. 50 subs to go to 24,300. Shout out to our new subs, our female audience as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. And let's see where we're at on the likes here as we approach the bottom of the second inning. Got 208 in the room. And where are we at? We are at 50 likes, 50 to go. Tavares hit the sac fly to center. Ward scored, making it 1-0 Baltimore. But again, anytime you end up getting, bases loaded, on your pitcher and you have 0 outs, 1 out, or even 2 outs, it gets a little scary. But again, it could have been a hell of a lot worse for Logan Gilbert. And we just got to be able to find a way, to get some RBIs or home runs in our weak lineup that we have here today. And obviously Logan not looking that good early on, but hopefully he'll get better as the game progresses. Could have really used Colt Emerson in the lineup today, but, with back soreness and back spasms, usually it'll be a day off or 2, just like Naylor a few days ago. First pitch in there to Jackson Holliday is in there for a strike. Big swing and a miss, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off into left field, out of play. 4-seam fastball there by Logan Gilbert. No balls and 2 strikes. From Logan Gilbert and Jackson Holliday in the box. Oh-2 pitch from Gilbert. High and away. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, missing the corner by probably an inch, half inch. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Orioles. All right, Mike, take care. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and another punch out there from Logan Gilbert. There we go. And that is 1 away. Way to bring a little bit of electricity after having a rough first inning. Next up for Logan Gilbert will be in the 8-hole, right fielder Tyler O'Neill. On deck will be catcher in the 9-hole, Sam Huff. First pitch to O'Neill is high and away. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Come on, Logan. Got to find a way. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike on the line, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to O'Neill. One pitch, big swing and a miss. Beautiful curveball that fooled O'Neill there. 81 miles an hour, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Orioles. One-two pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to O'Neill. Curveball, 81 miles an hour there by Gilbert. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tyler O'Neill. 2-2 pitch. Popped him up. Will it stay in play? Doesn't look like it. Out of play. And count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to O'Neill. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour on that last pitch by Logan Gilbert. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Baltimore. But again, with all things considered, with bases loaded, could have been much worse. We could be down 3-4 runs right now. So being down only 1, we'll take it. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to O'Neill. Yeah, me and you both, Joe. But again, a 2-run jack in his first at-bat and getting a grand salami as well. 6 RBI day for Cal Raleigh for the Tacoma Rainiers. So 3-2 pitch, high and inside. O'Neill has to jump out of the way. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. A little too inside, and O'Neill makes his way to first with the walk. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Come on, Gilbert. First pitch fouled off there by Huff towards third base and out of play. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Huff. Slider 85 miles an hour, missing by a few inches there by Gilbert. Definitely not really hitting his spots early on, but Logan is probably our 5th out of 6 pitchers. Maybe even 6 out of 6, based on how Castillo's been pitching lately. And again, normally Logan is top 3, but obviously with Miller and Hancock kind of improving. And that's fair. And goes into the crowd. Stand-up double there by Sam Huff. Come on, Logan. All right, so now we got runners at second and third with 1 out. Well, if you're going to lay it right down the middle, you're going to pay the price. Next up is Taylor Ward, the former Angel. First pitch from Gilbert to Ward. Takes a strike right down the middle. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Little dribbler towards first and out of play. Curveball, 82 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. No balls and 2 strikes with runners now at second and third and 1 out. And hopefully we'll be able to be only down 1 instead of being down 2 or 3. Definitely could use a double play, but a little bit more difficult to get it with runners at second and third compared to first and second. 0-2 pitch. Hard hit ball towards third and foul. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at second and third and 1 out. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Baltimore. It's, starting off the year, not really, starting off the year, obviously, as our, season opener, that kind of told the story. First 2 starts were terrible for Logan, and he's just trying to get back to where he was. But obviously, we've seen Logan be, worse than expected. Luis Castillo being worse than expected. Andres Munoz being worse than expected for those 3 guys. But Miller and Hancock have been better than expected. And I think Wu and Kirby have been kind of what we expected. They're good, even though they've been roughed up recently. But for the most part, they've been pretty good overall. We just got to be able to do our best with all the injuries. And again, we haven't had this many injuries with key contributors in a long, long time. So just got to be able to tread water until these guys come back. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at second and third and 1 out. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Baltimore. Yeah, but there's like 5 or 6 new dads on the team, and not every dad is struggling. 1-2 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Ward. Two pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Throw home. Get him. Got him. There we go. Good throw. Nice tag there by Mitch Garber. And again, a lot of throws to home haven't been very accurate this season, but I think this one was. Let's see if Baltimore challenges. Looks pretty close. I mean, it's a pretty bang play. Ump calls him out. Good throw by Cole Young. Looks like the hand might have actually got to home in time, but we'll see what the ABS and the replay booth decide. You know, we've had a lot of bang, 50-50 plays or 55-45 plays, so to speak. And we'll see what happens here. But just being, real and not biased, should be probably 2-0 Baltimore. But we'll see what they decide to call here. And they're looking at this replay for quite a long time. And he was called out at home, but after looking at 2 replays, looked like the hand might have crossed home just slightly before the tag was applied by Garver, but it's obviously not my call. It'll be what they decide in the booth. It's close. I mean, it really depends on if he got him on the shoulder or on the top of the batting helmet. Wow, they call him out. That's surprising. Call is confirmed. Maybe they didn't see enough to overturn it since it was called out at home instead of safe at home, but again, another 50-50 play. You just really don't know, a lot of times. I mean, I really do think that the ABS has made the game better. But again, it's not like we've gotten a lot of plays that are 50-50 to go our way. So good job there by Cole Young. And considering we have Logan on the mound, maybe our worst starter besides Castillo, and a very weak lineup hitting wise, I mean, we can take any kind of breaks that we can get, especially already down 1-0. All right, next up is Gunnar Henderson. First pitch to Henderson is high and away. 1-0 count. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. One-0 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Logan Gilbert to Gunnar Henderson. Slider 86 miles an hour on that last pitch. 2-0 pitch. Popped up and out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Baltimore. Leody Taveras with a sac fly to center with Ward scoring when they had bases loaded and 2 outs. And luckily we're not down 3-4-5-0, because if we were, chances are we're probably not coming back, with this weaker lineup unless they throw some righty pitcher options in the bullpen later. And that one is a little foul tip that rolls to Logan, but it is foul. Change up 84 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Henderson. Throw was a little high, by Cole Young, but also on the flip side, you have to remember Cole, is playing shortstop. He's not playing second base. So he's playing it, only for the second time. 2-2 pitch. Goes into the dirt, bounces off Garver's chest protector. Curveball 83 miles an hour, low and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gunnar Henderson. It feels like that's been kind of a common theme here. Come on, Gilbert, lock in. Find a way to get this last out. Pop up, ground out, strike out. We don't care. Can't have another bases loaded in back-to-back innings. 3-2 pitch. Oh, steps off the mound. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Three-two pitch. And a hard hit ball towards first and out of play. And obviously with the pitch count so high already with these first 2 innings, he's already at fucking 57 pitches compared to Rogers at 20. So it's not like we're going to get Gilbert to go 6 or 7 innings. I mean, he's probably only going to go 4 or 5 based on, where he's at right now. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. There we go. One of the highest pitch counts that we've seen, almost 60 pitches within the first 2 innings. But again, finding a way to leave those runners stranded to give us a chance in this game with a weak lineup. Nice job there by Logan Gilbert. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. And hopefully we can get on the board here and tie this game up or take the lead. Next up for the Mariners in the 8 hole, playing shortstop for the 2nd game, batting .318 on a 11-game hit streak, Cole Clutch Young. One of the best players on the team for offense and defense. He's a dual threat like Julio Rodriguez. Batting 2nd in the 9 hole, 2nd baseman Ryan Bliss, who had the sac fly, as well as a great defensive play with Julio late in the game. Let's see if Ryan can get something going. And then batting 3rd, 0 for 1, right fielder Victor Robles. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 50 subs to go to 24,300. It looks like we gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. $49 subs to go to 24,300. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train. And let's see where we're at on the likes. 258 in the room. And we're at 64. 36 to go. Trevor Rogers on the mound. And let's see if Cole Clutch Young can get something going here for the Mariners. First pitch to Young, takes a strike high and away. 0-1 count. Yeah, a lot of gum and a lot of seeds. You know, it is a norm. Not every player, is going to chew an insane amount of gum and an insane amount of, sunflower seeds, but it definitely has been a part of the game for over 100 years. So 0-1 pitch. And Young pops it up into deep left field. And caught there by Kowser, 1 up and 1 down. Next up in the 9 hole, 2nd baseman Ryan Bliss. On deck is Victor Robles. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch into Bliss is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Top of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Baltimore. Taveras with a sac fly to center when they had bases loaded and 2 outs. Ward scoring from 3rd. And again, could be 3-4-0 right now. So for us to be down only 1, I'll take it. But again, we need this weaker lineup to find a way, somehow, some way to get an RBI or an unexpected home run at some point before they switch to a righty. And then maybe when we get Canzone and Rayleigh in, we'll be able to do some damage. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle with a cutter, 83 miles an hour by Trevor Rogers. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 3rd, 1-0 Baltimore. Nah, they're not going to get rid of Gilbert. If they were going to get rid of anybody, it would probably only be Castillo, and we don't need Skubal. We already have plenty of pitchers. We got Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan in the farm, so we don't need to break up any chemistry that we already have. Skubal obviously has Seattle ties, through college and whatnot, but the chance of the Mariners of getting Skubal is 0. It's not going to happen. The organization isn't going to be able to afford that type of salary, moving forward. So, he will end up moving on, from the Tigers to another team, but, it won't be us, It'll be someone else. Who will it be? Who knows? Will it be the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Braves? But it won't be us, though. Pitch fouled off, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Bliss. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Bliss. 2-2 pitch. Popped up behind the plate and foul. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Bliss. Two-two pitch. Fouled again. Cutter 85 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Bliss. Good at bat here. 8 pitches in already. Another pitch that's fouled off there by Ryan. Sweeper 79 miles an hour right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the third, 1-0 Baltimore. Pitch fouled off again. 5 straight foul balls for Ryan Bliss. And this will be pitch number 10 incoming. 2-2 pitch. And Bliss with another pitch fouled off. Wow. I don't think I've seen a player for the Mariners foul off 6 pitches in a row. And but again, there's always a new day for something that you haven't seen. Pitch number 11. 2-2 pitch and Bliss. Yes, there we go. And finally on pitch number 11 gets a base knock there into right field. Great job there by Ryan Bliss. For a guy that's more of a triple-A player, just being able to play because of J.P. Crawford getting hit on the hand and injured by Framber Valdez and the Tigers, that's one of the best at-bats I've seen all year. 6 straight foul balls and then finally being able to get a hit on pitch 11. Great job, Ryan. He's fired up. Next up is Victor Robles. On deck is Julio Rodriguez. Let's go. Robles with the bunt. Uh-oh. And they wanted a double play, but they only end up getting the fielder's choice. Bliss is out at second, and that is 2 away. And I wish that Robles would have bunted that more towards third, not right in front of the pitcher, but looked like he was trying to go towards first, but really it ended up just going right in front of the pitcher. So, and good awareness there by Trevor Rogers to throw to second, not first. So good defense there by the O's. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Come on, Julio. First pitch to Julio. Big swing and a miss, high and away. 0-1 count. Come on, J-Rod. And normally we're pretty good at bunting, as far as the location of the bunt. That was one of the worst bunts I've seen all year, but more times than not, we can get on base with a bunt. But and Robles is pretty damn good at bunting, so that was kind of shocking. But, wanted to do the drag bunt towards first and just, based off the pitch itself, ended up rolling to the pitcher, and hopefully we'll be able to bunt again. I love small ball, but you got to be able to bunt, in the correct spot for it to work. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by Trevor Rogers. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. 1-1 pitch, fouled off towards third and out of play. Cutter 83 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. One-two pitch. Throw to second, and the ball gets past, but not enough time for Robles to make it to third. Good job there by Victor, and he is safe. All right, this is only the second time we've had a runner in scoring position. We did have Naylor at third, but we weren't able to bring him home, but maybe we'll be able to get Victor to come home. And we know Victor's got some good speed there. 2-2 pitch. And Julio with a hard hit ball into shallow right. And that is out number 3. Tyler O'Neill catches that ball, and we leave another runner stranded. But again, you have to realize, it's like Logan Gilbert is on the mound, and he's one of our worst 2 pitchers this year with Castillo. And on top of that, we're going against a lefty. So that means we have our weak right lineup in. So we have no J.P. Crawford injured. No Colt Emerson injured, no Cal, no Brandon Donovan. And then instead of having Johnny Pareda, Luke Raley, and Dominic Canzone, we have Mitch Garver, Victor Robles, and Rob Refsnyder. So, we just have to wait for them to, go to a right-handed pitcher. And then hopefully at that point, we'll be able to score some runs, unless we're lucky enough to get some before then. All right, let's go to the bottom of the third inning and see who's next up here for Baltimore. Next up for the Orioles, 1-for-1, first baseman Pete Alonso. Batting second in the 4-hole, 0-for-0 with a base on ball, left fielder Colton Cowser. And batting third, 0-for-0 with an RBI, center fielder Leody Taveras. And Logan Gilbert's pitch count is through the roof. It's one of his highest pitch counts of the year. He's already at 58. So he almost had 60 pitches within the first 2 innings. So 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 Ks, 58 pitches, 34 strikes. So I don't know if he'll be able to make it 6 innings, maybe 5, but his ERA is 3.81. So we'll see what happens there. And then for Trevor Rogers, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, no Ks, which is odd. 39 pitches, 30 strikes, 5.97 ERA. So he's got to try to do the best with what we have to work with. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 49 subs to go to 24,300. Looks like we gained another sub. 48 subs to go to 24,300. We're still looking for our first dono on our dono train. And let's see how close we are to 100 likes with 254 in the room. We're at 77. We're almost there. $23 to 100. First pitch to Pete Alonso is low and away. Splitter 82 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Gilbert on the mound. Alonso in the box. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike right down the middle. Another slider there. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Alonso. Arcelis in the building. What's good? 1-1 pitch. And another ball there from Gilbert. 2 balls and 1 strike from Gilbert to Alonso. 2-1 pitch. And Alonso pops up. And Naylor is there with Ryan Bliss, but Bliss ends up making the catch with a big smile. And that is 1 away. As they show the Mariner fan on the screen that got the Pete Alonso bat that went into the crowd earlier in the game. First pitch right down the middle for a strike to Cowser, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Low and at the knees. And there's a common theme with the Mariner pitchers this year when you watch them pitch, and it feels like they have to throw their whole body, just to get it to home plate. Something's off. And we saw Brash look that way, in his last couple starts, and Gilbert has looked that way pretty much all year, where the delivery, it just looks kind of off, where it's like they're having this really, really strong, lineup, through the shoulders and the legs, and it just kind of looks over exaggerated, not smooth and natural like we have seen in the past from some of our guys as starters in the pen. And it looks like it's really taking a lot, just to get it to home. And Julio is back there in the no-fly zone and caught, and that is 2 up and 2 down. Nice job there by Julio Rodriguez. Cowser pops up to Julio, and that is 2 away. Next up in the 5-hole, center fielder today, Leody Taveras. Trident's up. Let's go M's. I'm always paying attention to every little detail, injuries, body language, pre-game, post-game interviews, everything, just to kind of get a feel a little bit above and beyond and a little bit deeper on the team and as well as all the teams in the league. First pitch from Gilbert to Taveras. Takes a strike looking with that 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Taveras. And, just like in any player in any sport level, no one wants to exit a game when they're injured, unless they have to. Sometimes people will play through pain and try to kind of suck it up. But again, if you're not right, and you're not being able to play at a high level, you're hurting the team if you're not, fully healthy. But, a lot of these guys, they have a certain type of, ego or aura or vibe about them where they really want to help the team win. But sometimes just, taking a step back and, looking at your health, it might be a little bit more important than, trying to force a win, when you may not be 100%. 1-2 pitch, low and inside as Taveras has to jump out of the way. And if it's not injuries, for some of the guys on the team, it's just, poor location and poor baseball, just poor play, not being able to hit the strike zone and not being able to get into a good flow. And remember, we got backup catchers calling these games with Garver and Pareda. Pareda has done a really good job hitting wise and is a little bit better of calling a game than Garver. And with Cal Raleigh hitting 2 home runs today, a 2-run jack and a grand salami for the Tacoma Rainiers. I can't wait for Cal to come back because that'll help us, for him calling a game, and hopefully the bat can stay hot as well, because we could definitely use those Cal Raleigh home runs this year as well that they have been lacking. Time is called there by Taveras at home. Has to adjust to batting gloves. Count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Baltimore. Three-two pitch. And a hard hit ball into left field, fading foul, out of play. Count is still full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Leody Taveras. Yeah, well, Julio, obviously is a great two-way player. Haven't, really had too many opportunities to show that he could do it for a whole season besides this year number 5. But, if he can keep playing with, on a high level for a good chunk of his career, who knows? Maybe he'll end up in the Hall of Fame. Popped up there into foul territory. Patrick Wisdom is there, and that is out number 3. Finally, somewhat of an easy inning for Logan Gilbert, and we didn't have to, have 20, 30 pitches that inning, but he's still pretty high. 73 pitches, 42 strikes, only 3 Ks, but we'll take it. End of the third inning, 1-0 Baltimore. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners, and let's see if we can finally get on the board. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up for the Mariners and the 3-hole DHing today, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 1 for 1 in the 4-hole first baseman. It's Nails, Josh Naylor. Had a grand salami yesterday, and we may need him to homer again here today if we're going to win. And batting third, playing left field for the first time for the Mariners in 2026. In the 5-hole, Rob Refsnyder. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 48 subs to go to 24,300. We just hit 6.1 million views a few days ago, which is great. Shout out to the fans. Appreciate you. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train, and let's see where we're at on the likes. Looks like we're at 84. We're almost there. 16 more to 100. Taveras with the sac fly to center, Ward scoring with bases loaded from third, and that's where we're at. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for Baltimore. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Mariners. So we got hits by Naylor and Bliss, and that's it. So something's got to give here, and hopefully they'll, get to a righty at some point, so that way we can bring in Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone. That could be our savior. When Cal comes back, I would, either bench Garver, or send him to AAA. I wouldn't cut him because obviously with all the injuries that we've had this season, you just never know. And you want to make sure you have catchers that are familiar with the pitching staff, starters and bullpen. But, I think that Johnny has earned the number 2 spot over Garver. And, it's either having Garver just on the bench if they can afford that spot to be there. If they can't, then I would send him to the Tacoma Rainiers until the next guy gets hurt and then bring him back up if needed. But Now, I would have Cal as the 1, Pareda as the 2, and then Garver as the 3. So I would swap Garver and Pareda, because normally Garver was the 2, Pareda the 3, but I think Johnny has shown he's a little bit better calling a game and obviously a better hitter than Garver. Pitch fouled off there by Randy Arozarena. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rogers to Arozarena. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Baltimore. And we might be able to win this game with only scoring 2 or 3 runs, but still haven't been able to get into a rhythm yet with obviously this hitting lineup with one of the weaker lineups we've had this year. And we do a hell of a lot better when Johnny Pareda, Luke Raley, and Dominic Canzone are in the lineup. And also remember, no J.P. Crawford and no Colt Emerson with injuries. So it's like no Cal, no Donnie, no J.P., no Colt. I mean, that's like 4 starters, right there. So, we're really having to dig deep lately. 2-2 pitch. And Randy with a rocket into left, and it drops. There we go. There we go. 3rd hit. And we just got to make sure that Randy, ends up being mature and smart, running the bags, because every time he ends up getting a single, he starts jumping around like a jelly bean and then kind of, showing his cards. We know that you want to steal second, but you got to be a little bit more, sneaky about it. Don't show all your cards, because once you start jumping around, then you end up leading off to, and leaning to second too much. And then what happens? You get thrown out. And he hasn't been very good running the bags recently. So hopefully Randy can be smart here. Next up is Josh Naylor. First pitch to Naylor, takes a strike. 0-1 count. Come on, Nails. Obviously with a weaker lineup, we're going to really need to rely on Randy, Naylor, Julio, and Cole Young today. 0-1 pitch in there for another strike looking. No balls and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh. Right in stop. Let's go, M's. Definitely is a low-scoring affair here early on, but that could open up, especially once they hopefully go to a righty. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Big swing and a miss. Sweeper fooling Naylor, and that is 1 away. And speaking of bad hitters, in the 5-hole, left fielder Rob Refsnyder. But with that being said, it's much better than what he was at the beginning of the year when he started for like 0 for 20 or 0 for 25. So it's still a bad hitter like Mitch Garver, Rob Refsnyder. But, there has been a few games recently where he's gotten 2 hits. Again, some guys are, slowly but surely getting slightly better, not to our standard, but, it's better than, not getting any hits and just striking out every time. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rogers to Refsnyder. 1-1 pitch and throw back to first. And Alonso falls down again. Man, I think Alonso has fell down like 6-7 times in these first 2 games. Usually it's a throw to first, and he's trying to make the play, but even a throw to first, an awkward throw there by Rogers and Alonso falling to the ground, but scooping the ball, good awareness, there by Pete Alonso. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, high and inside. Rogers tried to jam him, but can't get a piece of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first. Randy Arozarena with 1 out. 1-2 pitch. And fouls it behind the plate into the bricks. Changeup, 88 miles an hour there by Trevor Rogers. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Baltimore. Right ends up. Let's go, M's. And we may be able to win this game by only scoring 2 or 3 runs, but we got to get on the board first. 1-2 pitch. Look at that. Line drive into left. And Rob Refsnyder, he might be a shitty hitter like Garver, but at least he's actually getting hits lately. Nice job there by Rob. Nice job there by Rob Refsnyder. Next up is Patrick Wisdom. There you go, Rob. And let's see if Wisdom can end up getting us an RBI. We've had a runner at second and a runner at third. And now we have another opportunity with runners at first and second with 1 out. Come on, Pat. But again, with this type of lineup, Robles, Ref Snyder, Wisdom, Garver, Bliss, not ideal. But with that being said, Ref Snyder's got a hit, Bliss has got a hit. So, at least 2 out of the 5 guys that are, lower tier are doing their job. Now we just have to wait on the rest. First pitch is fouled off, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled behind the plate again. Cutter, 85 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes to Patrick Wisdom. And Wisdom calls time. I can't wait for our healthy bodies to come back. JP, Colt Emerson, Cal Raleigh, Brendan Donovan. 0-2 pitch, big, swing and a miss. Down goes Wisdom, and that is 2 away. All right, and, every once in a blue moon, Mitch Garver will do one of these. He'll get a home run or a big RBI, and let's just pray and hope that Mitch gets it here. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Let's see if Mitch can be one of those unsung heroes. Come on, Garver. First pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Garver. But, you can't really expect too much when you got 5, kind of lower end tier players out of 9, imagine any team that had as many injuries as us, they probably wouldn't be a top 5 team in the MLB like we are. We're deep, but again, we definitely need our guys, back to be able to get on a better run. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees, 4-seam fastball missing there by an inch. 95 miles an hour there by Trevor Rogers. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Top of the 4th, 1-0 Baltimore. 1-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Garver. Come on, Mitch. Two pitch from Rogers. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. All right, we got a full count here. Let's see if Mitch can get a hit or an RBI or draw a walk. On deck will be Cole Young, and if we can get to Cole Young, I think we'll be able to score. He'll be able to get an RBI, a single, a double, a home run, something. We just have to see if Garver can help us out here to continue the inning and get on a 2-out rally. Come on, Mitch. Take the walk if it's there. 3-2 pitch. Garver, hard hit ball, deep left field, back, gone! What did I say? I told you, every once in a blue moon, Mitch Garver can be the hero. And look at that, 3-run bomb by one of our worst hitters on the team. Robles and Ref Snyder on board, 406 feet. Never doubt our players. 3-1 Mariners. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. And again, I'm not going to be right, about everything, but again, I got a pretty good pulse on this team. And now we get to Cole Young, but we don't need to worry about him knocking anybody in. Mitch Garver took care of that. And again, I understand the frustration with these lower end guys, that we got, but you got to have faith, in some of these lower end shitty hitters that eventually they're going to be able to find a way, and obviously this is one of the worst lineups that we've had all year because of injuries. No Cal Raleigh, no Brendan Donovan, no Colt Emerson, no JP Crawford, 5 guys out of 9 that aren't really that good, but they found a way. And Young flies out to left to Colton Cowser, and that is out number 3. Let's fucking go. There it is. Arcelus with a 5er. Appreciate you. Let's go, baby. And sometimes you got to talk it into existence. And again, the photos are selected, for a certain type of reason. And Mitch Garver making me look good. There we go, baby. 3-1 Seattle. And that might be enough to be able to win. Michael with a 3er. He says he likes it. $3 for 3 runs. Let's go, Garv. Way to bring the electricity, Mitch Garver. And again, let's be real and honest. It's not like Garver's going to do this that often, but I'm really happy that he did it right there. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. Rick Riz, he fucking loves it. Let's go. 3-1 Seattle. Baltimore fans shaking their heads. They don't like it one bit. $48 subs to go to 24,300. Shout out to our female audience as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. And we hit 102 likes. There we go. 98 more to get to 200. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Well, I watch everything live. You know, I'm watching, through my Mariners TV paid subscription and whatnot. So let's go, baby. And again, with one of the weakest lineups we've had all year, and with Logan Gilbert not looking very good in the first couple innings, we could easily be, down before that home run. We could have been down 3-0, 5-0, 6-0, but, he only gave up a run. So, again, we needed him to give up 2 or less, probably to win this game, 3 at the most. And Mitch Garver coming up big with that big 3-run blast on a 3-2 pitch. 406 feet with Randy and Ref Snyder on board. And shout out to Rob, to, get on base. Otherwise, we'd only be up 2-1. And again, I understand, that some of these guys, are a frustration, in the lineup more times than not. But, Bliss doing a pretty good job in his first 2 games. Ref Snyder lately actually has been pretty good. And Garver finally finding a little bit of that Soto mojo and that Mariner magic, baby. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Mayo. And that's what shows, that we're one of the best teams in baseball. We're a top 5 team with the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Braves, the Yankees, and us. And, obviously Vegas, the betting websites, and the sport nerds agree. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Mayo, and that is 1 away. There we go, Logan. That's what I'm talking about. And now we have a little bit of momentum for Logan Gilbert with that big 3-run blast by Mitch Garver. Way to make me look good. All right, Logan, let's keep it going. Next up for Logan Gilbert, 0 for 1 with a K, Jackson Holiday. On deck will be Tyler O'Neill. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch is low and at the knees with a splitter, 83 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, popped up and out of play. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Holiday. And we even mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, based on the flow of the game, getting to maybe 3 or 4 runs could be enough to win this game. And we're already at 3, but hopefully we can get to at least 5, because we don't really know what's going to happen with our bullpen after Gilbert. It's been a little shaky lately, and not just Mooney. Mooney did a good job yesterday, but Brash hasn't really looked that good. Ferrer, every player, has looked kind of shaky. But again, Cooper Criswell's on the IL, so we don't have to worry about him blowing another game. And we'll see what happens with Nick Davila and a few of the others. 2-1 pitch, popped up and out of play. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Logan Gilbert. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Holiday. Lauren in the building, what's good? 2-2 pitch. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Holiday. Let's go, baby. Three-two pitch. Deep ball into left field, and Rep Snyder. Wow. Showing some good speed and athleticism out there, playing left field for the very first time and making the grab. Great job, Rob. Okay. Because it was supposed to be Randy in left and Rob DHing, but I'm glad that they made this the swap, because having Rob in left and Randy to DH makes a little bit more sense, since Randy is, obviously a better hitter, and it's definitely worked out. Next up is Tyler O'Neill. On deck is Sam Huff. Let's go, Logan. Keep it going. First pitch to Tyler O'Neill. Takes a strike looking with a four-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Yeah, Oriole fans been a little quiet now. A lot of talk in the beginning of the game. Not so much now. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to O'Neill. Bottom of the 4th inning, 3-1 Seattle. It's crazy to think that we're, one of the top 5 teams, even with the record that we have and all the injuries. But, again, we know that the Yankees have had a good start, but now Judge is hurt. Little dribbler towards third, Wisdom, throw to first, and that is out number 3. Good job there by the defense for Seattle and Patrick Wisdom. And obviously we know the Rays started off really hot. Now they're going on a little bit of a skid. And then obviously the White Sox and Guardians started to get onto a good flow, but then Munetaka Murakami got hurt with the hammy. So it's not just us, with injuries, but I think that if you actually look at like quality players, we're probably more banged up than any other top 5 team right now compared to the, Braves and the Brewers and the Dodgers and the Yankees, as far as, Cal and Donnie and Colt Emerson and JP and all these fucking guys that we really need. But it's nice to be able to see the backups can step up from time to time. All right, end of the 4th inning, 3-1 Mariners. Now let's see who's up next for Seattle and see if we can add on another run or 2 here in the 5th. Next up for the M's in the top of the 5th, 1-for-1, second baseman in the 9-hole, Ryan Bliss. Second game with the team, and so far, so good. Batting second, 0-for-2 right fielder, Victor Robles. I wouldn't mind him dropping another bunt down, but just don't do it in front of the pitcher. Go towards third base. And batting third, 0-for-2, time to get your first hit of the game. Center fielder, it's J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez. Rick Riz is loving it. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 48 subs to go, do 24,300. And let's see where we're at on the likes with 307 in the room. All right, we're at 113. $87 to $200. Let's go, baby. Got to find a way. Trident's up. Let's go M's. So Emerson still has the back spasms and the back soreness. So hopefully he'll be back by tomorrow. But another game that obviously with no Colt Emerson, which is not ideal. And JP Crawford, his hand is still swelling up after getting hit on the hand by Framber Valdez. So he's on the 10-day IL. So we won't have JP for a couple weeks. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, but this is the second game vintage that Colt has been out. Similar injury to Josh Naylor a few days back when he had the back soreness. Anytime you have back spasms, it's usually a couple days you have to rest that back. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rogers to Bliss. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Rogers to Bliss. 2-1 pitch. And a fly ball into center field and caught from Leody Taveras, and that is 1 away. But no Colt Emerson, no JP Crawford. We haven't had Cal and Donnie forever, it seems like. But Cal did hit 2 home runs today for the Tacoma Rainiers, a 2-run jack and a grand salami for 6 RBIs. So when you get 6 ribbies, good sign that obviously he's feeling good. And I can't wait for Cal to come back to the team. We desperately need him and Donnie back, as well as JP and Colt Emerson, of course. First pitch to Robles, and he fouls that one off into left field. Cutter, 83 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Top of the 5th inning, 3-1 Seattle. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Trevor Rogers on the mound. Victor Robles in the box. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, 3-1 Mariners. Trident's up. John in the building. What's good? Blue Jay in the building. What's good? Jack and Angry in the building. How are you guys? Jeremy's in the building. Callie, I see you. Vintage in the building. 2-1 pitch. Fouled off towards third by Robles. 2 balls and 1 strike from Rogers to Robles. Yeah, and obviously in Double-A ball, Cade Anderson is the best player. So again, his stat line is ridiculous. So we should see Cade make the move to Triple-A pretty soon. You know, but again, out of all the players in Double-A, he's number 1. So again, ERA, the strikeouts. I mean, and again, you know, in Double-A and Single-A, it's one thing, and then obviously the next level, Triple-A, and then obviously the big leagues is a whole nother story. But I would love to see Cade Anderson get called up to the team and after the All-Star break, you know, just to help out the pen at the very least. 2-2 pitch popped up into right, and that is 2 away. Robles flies out. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. All right, come on, J-Rod. We know that you can do it defensively. You've been the man, but we could really use that bat sooner than later. First pitch to Julio, and a little ground ball there towards third and foul. Change up 87 miles an hour there by Trevor Rogers. No balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 5th, 3-1 Seattle. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. I definitely think Cole will get a single before the game is over. Single, double, home run, something. You know, Young is one of the hottest hitters on the Mariners right now. You know, I always keep up with everything that's going on with every player. Obviously playing shortstop for the second game since Emerson is out. He's batting .318 on a 11-game hit streak. So if he can get another hit, it'll be 12 games in a row. 1-1 pitch. Julio pops it up into deep center field. Leody Taveras is there, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 5th and see who's up next here for the Mariners. Or the Orioles, excuse me. Next up for the Orioles in the 9-hole, catcher 1 for 1, Sam Huff. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, DHing the former Angel, Taylor Ward. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 48 subs to go to 24,300. We gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. 47 subs to go to 24,300. Shout out to our female audience and our new subs, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We'll see where we're at on the likes. We're at 121. $79 to $200. And we're at 8 on the Dono train, 92 to go. Shout out to the legend and the icon, Rick Riz. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, just like the Seahawks, obviously last season. 40-plus years on the radio. He is walking away and retiring. And obviously every stream will be dedicated to the legend and the icon, Rick Riz. We love you. Yeah, just minor league, individual. Nothing really to get too super excited about. So first pitch there to Huff is low and away, 1-0 count. But we've been getting some really good ball out of Cade Anderson, Ryan Sloan, who eventually will end up being starters for the Mariners at one point or another down the road. They may start them in the pen first, obviously, with all the depth that we have. And then Lazaro Montes has been playing pretty good ball. Obviously, could be our future right fielder one day. And it's nice to be able to see the farm guys really tearing it up. And we already got Cole Young and Colt Emerson on the squad, even though Colt has had back spasms for the last 2 days, but hopefully he'll be in the lineup tomorrow. 2-0 pitch to Huff. And Huff pops it up. sky high. Young is there, and that is one away. Great job there by Cole Clutch Young. And my favorite type of players on the Mariners are players that can play offense and defense. And obviously we got one of the best in Cole Young, and obviously Julio Rodriguez out there in center field. Colt Emerson is pretty damn good on offense and defense as well. And it's one thing if you're a good hitter, or one thing that you're a good defender, but to be able to be great at both, it's pretty rare. And I'm glad that we have those guys on our team. Next up is Taylor Ward. First pitch is high and away. Cutter 87 miles an hour on the line, but not getting the call. 1-0 count. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Shout out to Bliss, Ref Snyder, and Garver. Really stepping it up today. 1-0 pitch. Low and at the knees. Just getting the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Ward. And this is one of the worst lineups that we've had all year because of injuries and because we're going against a left-handed pitcher. But Robles, Ref Snyder, Wisdom, Garver, Bliss. And again, you don't really expect out of 5 guys out of 9 really to do anything. Makes you really feel you have to rely on Julio, Arosarena, Naylor, and Cole Young to win the game. But apparently, some of the lower tier guys said, hey, you know what? We can help you guys win too. Shout out to Garver, Bliss, and Ref Snyder getting the job done early. And we'll see if Wisdom and Robles can join the party. 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Oh my God! Julio Rodriguez with a diving catch in center field. Wow. Unbelievable. Julio Rodriguez in the no-fly zone. And again, there's not a lot of guys that can make sliding grabs or diving grabs like Victor Robles and Julio Rodriguez. Great job. Trident's up. Let's go M's. I love defense. I've always been, kind of a defensive fan, regardless of sport, but specifically for baseball and football. It takes a lot of effort to be great at defense. Offense comes naturally to a lot of these players, but defense, that's really where you have to dig deep and you have to want it. Whether you're trying to shut down a player like in the NBA, or on, the NFL, you're trying to shut down a wide receiver as a corner, or in baseball, trying to be able to make those big plays to erase, singles, doubles, and home runs. And, it takes a hell of a lot of effort and skill. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gunnar Henderson. BC with a 5er. Appreciate you. First dono to the channel. Shout out to BC. One of our 3 MVPs here early on. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Change up missing there by Gilbert. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. 3-1 Seattle. Let's go, Logan. Two-one pitch. And a little dribbler there to Josh Naylor. Toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. Here we go. We really started to get some momentum after, Gilbert, let's be real. He didn't look very good in the first 2 innings. He almost hit 60 pitches, and I haven't seen anyone hit 57 pitches this year in the first 2 innings. But again, even with bases loaded almost twice, only gave up 1 run. So again, even though Gilbert, was looking kind of shaky, again, we're not down, 5-3 right now. It's 3-1 Mariners. So great job there. And let's see where Logan is at on the pitch count. It looks like he's going to be done. All right. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and 96 pitches, 56 strikes with a 3.66 ERA. And again, he did his job. Obviously, first 2 innings were shaky, and if he didn't have roughly 30 pitches in the first 2 innings each, he would be able to go 6 innings, maybe even 7. But again, great job by Logan. And now we just have to pray that whoever comes in the bullpen, that they don't fuck this game away. We definitely have seen some of the bullpen kind of shit the bed lately. And not just Mooney. He got the job done yesterday, but Ferrer had bases loaded. Brash has not looked good recently. And, hopefully Spire and a few of the others, Alex Hoppy, and obviously we got Nick Davila that just got called up, and Cooper Criswell. He won't be able to shit the bed for us like he did a couple days ago. He's on the IL, and he went there today, so we ended up bringing up Nick Davila. So hopefully Davila will do decent, and Criswell is on the 15-day IL with the right shoulder strain. So, bullpen is, one of those position groups. It's going to win you or lose you more games than any other position group in baseball. And we just got to be able to do our best. All right, let's go to the top of the 6 and see who's next up for the Mariners. Next up for Seattle in the 3-hole, DHing Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a K, first baseman Josh Naylor. And batting third in the 5-hole, left fielder Rob Refsnyder. First pitch to Rogers to Arozarena, takes a strike looking, high and away, 0-1 count. And now they got Brad Adam interviewing the a Mariner fan that ended up getting the Pete Alonso bat that flew into the crowd. Obviously, they were trying to get that bat back, and I don't know if they ended up taking it, but... O2 pitch, fouled off. Locals nearby saying $100. That's so cheap. When I ended up getting an Aaron Judge ball in Seattle, when he ended up, hitting his 62 home runs, I mean, people were offering me $300 for the ball. So for Oriole fans to offer $100 for a bat, cheapskates. A bat is worth a hell of a lot more than $100. I mean, that's like $300 and up type of money. 0-2 pitch. Popped up there by Arozarena. And that is 1 away. Mayo making the play out there in foul territory. So they took the bat, gave him a voucher, and hopefully he gets the same bat back, but knowing the Orioles, they'll probably swap it for another one. Just some like random no-name bat, not Pete Alonso's bat, but first pitch is fouled off there by Josh Naylor, 0-1 count. Gilbert will not come back. He's already close to 100 pitches, so... Oh, 0-1 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rogers to Naylor. One pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Rogers to Naylor. And they had to give him a voucher because they said that in Baltimore, a bat is a weapon. So it's not like he's going to be swinging that bat in the crowd and whatnot. But, obviously if you've been watching the NBA Finals with the Knicks and the Spurs, people always talk about how crazy, Eagle fans are and how rude they are and, all the crazy things that goes on. I mean, look at those Knicks fans after they lost that game yesterday. I mean, regardless if they win or lose, they beat everybody up, even themselves. So luckily this Mariner fan will be protected, and he's a pretty big boy. He's got a little bit of weight on him, so it's not like anybody's going to push him around. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Naylor, but at least the NBA Finals has been pretty interesting. Same thing with the Stanley Cup. And we'll see where those 2 championships go for the NBA and the NHL. Pitch fouled off, low and away there by Naylor. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Naylor. We got the trainers and Dan Wilson out there talking to Josh. Hopefully he's okay. And I really do believe once we get healthy, JP, Colt Emerson, but especially Cal Raleigh and Brendan Donovan back, I wouldn't be shocked after the All-Star break if we don't end up having the best record in the American League at some point. Right now, the Brewers, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Yankees, and Mariners are considered the top 5 teams, which is kind of crazy considering with all the injuries and bullshit that we've had to go through. But not only are the fans are believers, but these are, quote unquote MLB experts, and stat nerds and people on MLB Network that still believe in the Seattle Mariners, which is a great thing to see. As Naylor is walked on the 3-2 pitch, and now we got Naylor at first with 1 out. So JP got hurt by Framber Valdez, who intentionally tried to hurt him and hit him on the hand. And we'll have to see what x-rays look like. His hand is really swollen, and it's been like that for a few days. So he's on the 10-day IL, and hopefully he'll be able to join the team in a week or two. And Colt Emerson has got back spasms, so he's missed the last 2 games, but hopefully Colt will be back tomorrow. First pitch is high and away to Rob Refsnyder, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Trevor Rogers to Rob Refsnyder. And hopefully once Rogers exits, we'll bring in a righty so we can bring in Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone and then kind of put our foot on the gas and run away with this game. Time is called. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rogers to Refsnyder. Trident's up. Let's go Ems. And I really hope that fan does get that bat back after the game is over. Obviously, it would have been cooler if it was a Mariner player, but to get a Pete Alonso bat, out of everyone that's on that team, that's definitely one of the top 3 guys that you would want, a bat from, if it were to fly into the crowd and whatnot. So it's not often that you actually get a bat into the crowd and you get to keep it. Some teams will let you keep it, some won't. So it also depends on the player. 1-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. Sweeper, 76 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rogers to Refsnyder. TJ in the building. What's good? All day in the building. What's good? 75 more likes to get to 200. We got 300 in the room. And I'm glad that we finally got our system fixed after 6 emails and going back and forth, for 3-4 days. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and that is 2 away. Down goes Rob. But finally, the system is fixed. After me having to screenshot multiple websites to show them that it's not me. I've had this service for 6-7 years. I'm using it pretty much every day. And then you make a system update, and then everything goes haywire. So, kind of crazy that they tried to point the blame at me, rather than their own system, after they did a system update and, things were, obviously not working. But now, the photos and everything is streamlined and we're back to business. First pitch to Patrick Wisdom right down the middle, 0-1 count. And speak of the devil, they just emailed me probably to say, we fixed your problem. Or maybe they were waiting on me to email them first, but, your company, you email me first. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes from Rogers to Wisdom. Trident's up. Let's go Elms. Oh-2 pitch from Rogers, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rogers to Wisdom. Top of the 6th inning, runner at first with 2 outs. And obviously Logan didn't look very good in the first couple innings, but settled in. And obviously we got the bats to come alive, even though we have our worst lineup maybe of the year. But I still had faith that we could win this game, even though some Mariner fans maybe did not. And a nice base knock there by Patrick Wisdom. And again, now you're starting to see pretty much everyone that was maybe a liability in the lineup. Now we're just waiting on Victor Robles, I believe. So Robles is 0 for 3, but we got obviously 1 for 3 from Refsnyder, 1 for 3 from Wisdom, 1 for 2 and a 3-run jack from Garver, and Bliss is 1 for 2. So go figure, out of the 5 weak links, right? 4 out of 5 got a fucking hit. And honestly, if Robles would have bunted towards first or third, all 5 guys would have gotten on board. So, you never underestimate this team. So Julio is still waiting to get his first hit, and so is Cole Young. But I do have faith that those guys can get hits before the game is over. So, and hopefully Robles will do it as well. All right, next up is Mitch Garver with runners at first and second and 2 outs. And I believe they're going to make a pitching change. Okay, pitching change is happening. All right, Andrew Kittredge is coming in. And it looks like he is a righty. So here comes Dominic Canzone and Luke Raley at some point. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, Andrew Kittredge coming in, and Mitch Garver. You know, a little foreshadowing here with the photo. And again, I know a lot of people are complaining about, the lineup, and then Logan has almost 60 pitches in the first 2 innings. And, it definitely looked like things were going to go sideways, but you just got to have that blind faith, and again, I'm not going to, we're always going to call a spade a spade. We're not going to, try to be able to be biased just because they're on the Mariners. When players are playing good, you're going to know it. When players are playing bad, you're going to know it, and we're going to also salute, the players that are playing well on the other team. We're not going to just ignore that when they make a great play. As Garver pops up into left, and Cowser has it, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6 and see who's up next for the O's. Next up for the Orioles, 1 for 2 in the 3-hole first baseman Pete Alonso. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a walk, left fielder Colton Cowser. And batting third, 0 for 1 with an RBI, center fielder Leody Taveras. Trident's up, let's go M's. And then obviously if you are late to the broadcast, Nick Davila got called up from the Tacoma Rainiers because Cooper Criswell ended up having a right shoulder strain, so he's on the 15-day injured list. JP Crawford's hand is still swollen. He's on the 10-day IL. Hopefully nothing is broken. We'll find out in the next couple days. And Cal Raleigh joining the Tacoma Rainiers today, and he did a hell of a job. 6 RBIs, 2 home runs, a 2-run jack, and a grand salami. And that's a good sign for Mariner fans that Cal Raleigh could be on the team sooner than later. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And I'm curious to see who they're going to be bringing in here for Logan Gilbert, who obviously is at 96 pitches, so you wouldn't assume that he'll be back, but we will see. Unless they haven't pitched to the first batter, and that's it. So Trident's up. Let's go M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Gained 2 more subs since the last commercial break. 45 subs to go to 24,300. Let's see where we're at on the likes. 284 in the room. And we're at 129. All right, 71 more to get to 200. Let's go. And they still got Gilbert out there, so I assume he'll pitch to the first batter, and then they'll probably pull him once he gets, just slightly over 100. Appreciate that, Freedom. Parker in the building. What's good? Bottom of the 6, 3-1 Seattle. Logan Gilbert out there at 96 pitches, so he's not going to be out there too much longer. First pitch to Alonso. Julio Rodriguez is reliable as any motherfucking center fielder in the goddamn game, and he always can get the job done. Nice job there by Julio in the no-fly zone, and that is 1 away. And they got Alex Hoppe warming up. Great job with Julio Rodriguez. And we know Victor Robles can make plays in right. And they got Ref Snyder playing in left for the very first time in a Seattle Mariner uniform. And he actually made a few good plays already. So they have Randy DHing. Originally, they had Randy in left and Rob DHing. But I think it was smarter to let Rob play left and see if he could do it. And have Randy pinch hit and DH, And obviously, it's worked out so far. First pitch from Gilbert to Cowser. Takes a strike swinging. High and inside, 0-1 count. Trying to get Logan Gilbert to win, obviously, here. But for a guy that had almost 60 pitches in the first 2 innings, way to settle down and settle in. So, we got Logan Gilbert and Luis Castillo on track. Hancock and Miller are the best pitchers right now. Now we just got to wait for the other two that have struggled recently, Kirby tomorrow and Wu after that. And if we can get those guys back on track with wins, and if we somehow, some way can sweep this team, how amazing would that be? Or even winning 3 out of 4, but hopefully we sweep them if we can win here today. And obviously if Kirby and Wu can pitch well and the offense can get going, then we have the Nationals after that. But obviously when you go on a 10-game road trip, you don't really know what's going to happen. But, injuries have hurt this team more than I've seen in recent memory. But we're a tough, resilient ball club, as we have shown. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. And I don't think that's going to change, in the near future. I think the Mariners are going to be a contender for many years to come, especially with the squad that we've built so far. Big swing and a miss, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Cowser. Come on, Logan, finish strong. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Mariners. And Gilbert's at 101 pitches. 3-hitter for Logan. And a lot of those were in the first 2 innings. 3-2 pitch, strike 3 looking. Let's go. There we go. Nice job there by Logan Gilbert. Next up is Leody Taveras. He's at 103 pitches. So hopefully he'll end before he gets to 110. One more batter. And it's pretty rare, for us to let a guy go past 96 pitches. But, again, he's earned it. And again, considering him and Castillo were the 2 worst for a majority of the season, it's nice to see Castillo getting better, Gilbert getting better, Mooney slightly getting better, obviously yesterday. And now we just need Wu and Kirby, to get back to what we know they are, dominant. First pitch is low and away, slider, 85 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Honolulu in the building. I see you, Kelly. 1-0 pitch. Little dribbler towards first. Get it. Get it. Flip back to Logan. Get it. Yeah. There we go. And him, obviously getting that last out. If we can hang on to this, he'll actually qualify for the win. Great job. And again, I didn't really know what he would look like, with that kind of pitch count, because we know that Logan and Castillo have really struggled this season, but have been getting better recently. And great job there. End of the 6th inning, 3-1 Seattle. Let's see if we can add on another run or 2. Again, obviously magic number for the Mariners more times than not will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And we're at 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Let's see if we can add on a little bit more. Next up, 0 for 2. Got to get a hit. In the 8-hole, shortstop Cole Young. And Cole Clutch Young is batting .318 in an 11-game hit streak. So if he can get a hit here, that'll be 12 games in a row. Let's go Cole Clutch Young. Batting second in his second game with the team, 1 for 2, Ryan Bliss. And ended up having an at-bat that was like 11 pitches and still found a way to get a single. Ryan has actually done a pretty fucking good job, considering he normally is like a Leo Rivas, just a AAA player, but he's actually shown maybe a little bit more grit than even Leo, a little bit better. And batting third, 0 for 3, you need to get a hit. Right fielder, Victor Robles. But again, if they have gone to a lefty to a righty, then we may not see Victor Robles. They may swap him out. And we may end up seeing Luke Rayleigh. And I wouldn't be mad at that one bit. And we'll see if we end up getting Dominic Canzone filling in for Randy Arosarena at some point, or another player as well. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 45 subs to go. Do 24,300. Gained 3 more subs since the last commercial break. 42 subs to go. Do 24,300. Let's go. Lots of high fives in the dugout for Logan. Well deserved. .301 in the room. 139 on the likes. 61 to 200. And we are at 13 on the dono train, 87 to go. First pitch from Kittredge to Young, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, and that goes into left field, out of play for Cole Young. Sinker at 94 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Kittredge to Cole Clutch Young. See if we can get a hit so he can continue that 11-game hit streak and make it 12. Let's go. We're a dangerous team, and again, all the experts on MLB Network and all the stat nerd websites, they have us as a, top 4, top 5 team. You got the Braves, the Brewers, and the Dodgers in the National League, and the only team that they have higher than us at the moment is the Yankees, but with the Aaron Judge injury, at some point, we may even be able to leapfrog them. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. Good take there by Cole Clutch Young. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Seattle. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Oriole fans were very vocal early in the game, but very quiet recently. 2-2 pitch. A little foul tip right in front of the catcher, Huff. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kittredge to Young. Come on, Cole. 2-2 pitch. Hard hit ball into left field, fading foul, out of play. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kittredge to Young. Kittredge on the mound, Young in the box. And a little dribbler. Jackson Holiday is there and can't run it in time, and that is 1 away. So it looks like Cole will have one last at-bat to keep that streak going later in the game. Next up is Ryan Bliss. And looking at the starters in the last 4 games, with Miller, Castillo, Hancock, and Gilbert, I mean, what can you say? 1 hit for Miller, 2 for Castillo, 3 for Gilbert and Hancock, and obviously not a whole lot of runs scored. 0 and 1, 1 and 1. So obviously Miller, putting a donut up there, and all the other pitchers only giving up a run. I mean, we're one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, and now we just need Kirby to be electric tomorrow. The last 2 or 3 starts have been bad for Kirby, and obviously the last start for Wu wasn't good, but Wu's been kind of up and down. Same thing with Kirby, and hopefully we'll have a strong lineup to give them a little run support as well. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Bliss. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Slider 89 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kittredge to Bliss. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Bliss, and that is 2 away. Down goes Ryan. Next up is Victor Robles. Let's go, Victor. See if we can get the first hit of the day for Victor Robles. And Robles with a little dribbler towards third. Run! Yeah, there we go. Throw is off to Pete Alonso, and Victor Robles with the hustle gets the first hit of the day. There we go. I love the effort. Great job, Victor Robles. Reached on an infield single to third, and let's see if we get a 2-out rally going here. Alonso has fallen down like almost 10 times in these first 2 games, trying to be able to make plays for the O's. A lot of the throws have been wild, but I mean, we can relate with Josh Naylor, but normally Naylor is not falling down, just kind of contorting his body, high and low and making big plays. And as good as Pete Alonso, is as a player, I'd rather have Josh Naylor any day of the week. But obviously I know O's fans are very excited to have Pete there, and I know Mets fans are probably in depression mode that Alonso, the polar bear, is no longer there. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike to Julio Rodriguez. Julio's 0 for 3. Let's see if we can get Julio for his first hit of the game as well. We have hits with almost everyone on the team so far. Only a couple that need one, Julio and Cole Young. Throw back to first. And Robles is safe. Top of the 7th inning, runner at first, Victor Robles with 2 outs. And Robles is down on 2 knees. I hope he's okay. The training staff and Dan Wilson are going out there. He might have strained something, as he was going back to first base to, prevent himself from getting picked off, but kind of an awkward slide back. Didn't really go head first, or really, he went down on kind of a knee and then reached out awkwardly. Hopefully it's not anything with that shoulder. Wrist went into the bag kind of awkwardly. No, Freeman's not the polar bear. Polar bear has always been Pete Alonso. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And Victor is trying to shake off the cobwebs, so to speak, with the shoulder and whatnot. And hopefully he's okay. Kittredge on the mound. Julio Rodriguez in the box. Let's go, J-Rod. And a 1-1 pitch right up the middle by Julio Rodriguez. There we go, baby. I love it. I love when guys get hits late. It's one thing when you go 0 for 3, but that doesn't mean you're going to go 0 for 4 or 0 for 5. You just got to be able to have that faith. And nice job there by Victor Robles and Julio getting hits after being 0 and 3. Next up is Randy Arozarena, who is 1 for 3 with a run. Let's see if we can keep the rally going. And they got Randy DHing today instead of actually playing left field. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch in there to Randy for a strike with a slider, 90 miles an hour there by Kittredge. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, a ball there from Andrew. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball, and a blooper by Randy Arozarena in left. Victor's coming home. Run, Victor, run! Yes! Slide safe. There we go. Victor Robles is safe. 4-1 Mariners. And we know how hard it is to get back-to-back-to-back hits. 3 hits in a row is very difficult, not only for the Mariners, but any team in baseball. And when you're able to do that, good things happen. Great job there by Robles. Great job by Julio. Both were 0 and 3. Now they're 1 obviously for 4. And again, Randy getting his second hit of the day, getting a key RBI. And Victor, even though with that shoulder being a little bit tender, was still able to come home and get that extra run for some insurance that we definitely would need. And it looks like they may have another pitching change. Let's go. We love it, baby. Top of the 7th, 4-1 Seattle. Let's go, baby. Rick Riz is loving it. Next up is Nails, Josh Naylor, the hero yesterday with the grand salami. Let's fucking go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, Aiken is coming in. Hopefully let's see if he's a righty or a lefty here. Oh, he's a lefty. Of course he is. Keegan Aiken coming in. Yeah, we've been really good with 2-out rallies recently, and that's a very good sign to see, for a good baseball team. We weren't very good at the beginning of the year, but, within the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've been much better with 2 outs. All right, Keegan Aiken is coming in here for the O's. it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Even though things looked a little shaky early on. And again, if we can get a good, solid performance, out of George Kirby tomorrow and Brian Wu on Thursday, and we can get 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, there is going to be a chance, if we end up winning this game, that we potentially could end up winning 3 out of 4, or best case scenario, sweeping the Baltimore Orioles. And obviously with all the injuries that we've had, that would be pretty sweet, especially with what happened in that Tiger series. We need a little bit of payback. First pitch to Naylor, and he flies out into right field, and that is out number 3. We leave 2 stranded, but we still get back-to-back hits, and Robles comes home 4-1 Mariners. All right, let's see who's up next here for the O's. Next up for the Orioles in the 6 hole, third baseman 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, Kobe Mayo. Batting second in the 7 hole, second baseman 0 for 2 with a K, Jackson Holiday. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball right fielder in the 8 hole, Tyler O'Neill. Trident's up. Let's go M's, and I'm curious on who's coming out for Logan Gilbert. And let's look at Logan's final line. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 105 pitches, 61 strikes, 3.62 ERA, and they had him come out in the 6th so he could qualify for the win. And if we win this game, he'll be above 500 for the first time in 2026 with a 5-4 record. And then when you get one more win after that and go 6-4, then it'll be kind of what we expect, Logan Gilbert to be at this point in the year. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And it is going to be Alex Hoppe. So we'll probably see a lot of Hoppe and Nick Davila, with obviously, Cooper Criswell being on the injured list. We'll still have Gabe Spire and Ferrer and Brash, even though that some of those guys have looked a little shaky lately. But let's see if Hoppe can actually hit the strike zone. He's had an issue of throwing kind of low and into the dirt on a lot of his pitches. But obviously with a 3-run lead, hopefully Hoppe can be somewhat decent. His ERA is almost at 7, so not good. But, with a 3-run lead, hopefully he doesn't shit the bed. All right, Hoppe coming in. And Hoppe's a AAA pitcher. So, again, you can't expect, AAA guys that get promoted, to be lights out like some of the others. And honestly, lately, even the guys that normally are reliable, like Bizzardo, Brash, and Spire, and Ferrer, at times are amazing, but also at times are terrible. So, consistency is king. Let him know, Chris. To do the play-by-play and the color, manage the chat, and to produce a show on the fly is definitely not easy. First pitch from Hoppe to Mayo, and Young drops it. Throw it, Young! And not in time. I wonder if that'll be an error. Exit velo 110, and Young is playing shortstop only for the 2nd time this year. And we know that Young can play, multiple positions. And again, kind of hit him in the body and wasn't really able to get a clean look at that. And he does get charged with the error. And a little dribbler here down the first base line. And safe. Wow. Hoppe tried to pick it up and flip it to Naylor. And Jackson Holiday ended up running it out. And so far here in the 7th inning, not what we expected. Not ideal. And it looks like they're going to have runners at 1st and 2nd with no outs. I mean, you could have just, I don't know if that would have ended up going foul right there, but I mean, if Naylor was closer to first base, he probably could have tagged him, but kind of a little bit of bad luck based on where that ball landed. And then Naylor tried to tag him after he got the flip from Hoppe, but now we got runners at 1st and 2nd and no outs, and we don't want to let this team crawl back into the game. And Hoppe hasn't really been very good for us, but again, he's a AAA pitcher, and that's what he is. You can't expect every AAA guy that gets promoted to this team based on injuries from other guys to be amazing, Now, Hoppe has had some moments where he's been able to strike out the side, like when he first got called up and whatnot, but lately he hasn't really been that good, if we're being honest. Next up is Tyler O'Neill. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. And we're desperately going to need a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout to kind of get out of this jam. Otherwise, the O's are probably going to score a run this inning. Maybe even 2. One-oh pitch to O'Neill. Little dribbler. Give me the double play. Give it to me. Throw to first. Got him. Let's go. You ask for the double play, you get the double play. After a couple little mini fuck-ups there, a big double play. They still got a runner at third, but that definitely makes me quite a bit happier than what I was. And a great job there by Cole Young making up for the error and getting that double play. Young to Bliss to Naylor. It is beautiful. 2 away. Now Samuel Basillo coming in. First pitch, takes a strike, looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Hoppy on the mound. Samuel Basillo in the box. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Basillo in the box. Hoppy on the mound. Big swing and a miss there on that last pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And what was that, Hoppy? Holy hell. Wild pitch, runner scores. Jesus Christ. That might have been one of the worst pitches I've seen all year. I don't know if that just slipped out of his hands, but that was ugly. Runner from third scores. And now it's 4-2 Seattle. Probably a bad decision by Dan Wilson bringing in Hoppy, but you got Nick Davila that just got called up, who is another AAA pitcher, but yikes. I mean, again, if we're going to get, production like this, you might as well call up Cade Anderson, who's killing it in AA. I mean, Cade can do better than a lot of the guys that are on the team right now. Maybe even better than even some of the starters. Yikes. What was that? And let's see if this is... Basillo ends up challenging, but obviously it does not get overturned. Hoppy ends up getting out of the inning, but not after giving up a run. And now we have a 2-run lead. All right, we got to make up for Hoppy's mistake, and hopefully we can get our 5th run here in the top of the 8th. Let's see who's up next for the Mariners. I mean, it's one thing to throw into the dirt, but that was one of the ugliest pitches I've seen. Come on, Hoppy. Hoppy definitely needs to go down to AAA. We need to bring someone else up. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the 8th, 1 for 3 with a run and a K. Left fielder today, playing that position for the first time and doing a good job, Rob Refsnyder. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a K, third baseman, Patrick Wisdom. And batting third, the hero of the day, 1 for 3 with a run and 3 RBIs with a 3-run jack, Mitch Garver. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. $42 subs to go to 24,300. Looks like we gained another sub since the last commercial break. 41 subs to go to 24,300. We hit 6.1 million views a couple days ago. Shout out to all the fans for helping us to get to that number. And with 324 in the room, let's see where we're at. We're at 155 likes, 45 more to get to 200. And we are at 13 on the Dono train, 87 to go. Top of the 8th inning, 4-2 Seattle. Trident's up. Let's go, M. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch from Aiken to Ref Snyder. 1-0 count. And we need as much insurance as we can get. You know, obviously having a 1-run lead or being tied, you know, is not ideal. You know, we have one of the, worst records in 1-run games. So us and the Diamondbacks have the most, I think 23 1-run games. And I think we're like 10-13. And I think they're 12-11. So obviously Mooney is responsible for a lot of those losses when we are tied or with a 1-run lead. So obviously having a 2, 3, 4-run lead would be ideal. Popped up. And in shallow right, it is caught, and that is 1 away. Tyler O'Neill with that first out. Gabe Spire warming up in the pen. Next up is Patrick Wisdom. On deck is Mitch Garver. First pitch from Aiken to Wisdom, fouls it off, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, popped up. Should be another routine play here for the O's. And O'Neill has been busy today, and that is 2 away. Next up, the hero today for the Mariners with a 3-run jack, Mitch Garver. First pitch from Aiken to Garver. In there for a strike, 0-1 count. Top of the 8th inning, 4-2 Mariners. Trident's up, let's go M's. 0-1 pitch from Aiken. In there for a strike again, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Aiken to Garver. Time is called by Garv. Oh-2 pitch from Aiken, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning, 4-2 Mariners. 4 runs, 9 hits, and an error for Seattle. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Orioles. 1-2 pitch from Aiken, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Aiken to Garver. And I mean, if we can win, with Logan Gilbert on the mound and having our worst lineup of the year, and we're able to put up 4 runs, maybe even 5 before this game is over, obviously a good sign, based on the depth that we have. And obviously it's not going to go our way all the time with a weak lineup like this going against a left-handed pitcher, but definitely the cards lined up the right way here tonight. 2-2 pitch fouled off by Garv. And another 2-2 pitch, a little dribbler to the pitcher, underhand throw, and safe. Let's go. I have no idea why that pitcher, Aiken, just didn't throw it normally. And it went with a underhand throw like he was at an arcade playing the ball game where you're trying to throw the ball into one of those 3 holes. But very awkward, here late with Hoppy with a terrible pitch, and now here with Aiken throwing a little lob there to Alonso. Should have had a little bit more urgency after he bobbled it there. And Garver running hard and ended up being safe. Nice job by Mitch Garver. Now let's see if we can get Cole Young to get a hit, so that way he can end up extending his 11-game hit streak. He's 0 for 3. Let's go 1 for 4. Let's go Cole Clutch Young. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Come on, Cole. 0-1 pitch. Takes another strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Come on, Cole. And in this 11-game hit streak, he's batting .318. One of the best, obviously, on the team. Come on, Cole. Let's get this 2-out rally going. 0-2 pitch. High and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Aiken to Young. One-two pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Aiken to Young. Come on, Cole. Right ends up. Let's go M's. See if Cole Clutch Young can be clutch again. He's usually been pretty damn good late in games in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. 2-2 pitch and popped up, and it looks like the hit streak is going to end unless they drop it. And it is caught, and that is out number 3. We leave a runner stranded, Mitch Garver, and it looks like Gabe Spire is going to come in to try to close out the game. And hopefully we get the good Gabe, not the bad. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th and see who's up next here for the O's. And I don't know if Gabe will go 8th and the 9th, but we'll find out. Next up, 1 for 3 with a run, DHing the former Angel, Taylor Ward. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K, shortstop Gunnar Henderson. And batting third, 1 for 3, first baseman Pete Alonso. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Yeah, throwing error on the underhand toss. So at least we're not the only team with an error. 41 subs to go to 24,300. Shout out to our female audience as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. We got 360 in the room. We're at 163, so we need 37. We can get 37 people to hit that like button out of the 348. We'll be at 200. And we are at 13th on the Dono train, 87 to go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Need some of that Soto mojo, that Mariner magic, baby. Let's go. Let's see if Gabe Spire can get the job done. The Pat McAfee lookalike, has been very hit or miss. Most of the time pretty fucking reliable, but a lot of times, he'll get an out and then give up a home run or an RBI. But hopefully he'll be clean here in the 8th inning. First pitch from Spire to Taylor Ward. Little dribbler up the middle. Young. Throw to first. Got him. What a play there by Cole Young. Wow. One of the best defenders on the Mariners, no doubt. And again, to be able to play second base on short, it takes not only athleticism, but a good strong arm and an accurate arm. And a great job there by Young, just in time to nail her. And that is 1 away. Beautiful play there by Cole Clutch Young. The hit streak ends, but at least he's playing some good defense. Nice job, Cole. Next up is Gunnar Henderson. First pitch to Henderson is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. On deck is Pete Alonso, and on the mound is Gabe Spire. Oh, 1 pitch to Henderson. Big swing and a miss. High and inside, tried to jam him. No balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Henderson. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Seattle with nobody on and 1 out. Spire on the mound, Henderson in the box. 0-2 pitch, popped behind the plate and into the bricks and the Chick-fil-A sign. Oh, 2 pitch, and Henderson pops up. Should be a routine play for Wisdom at third, and that is 2 away. Good job, Pat. Down goes Gunnar, and next up for Gabe Spire, it'll be Pete Alonso. And we'll be live at 3:30 Pacific tomorrow and 4:05 Pacific on Thursday. George Kirby on the mound tomorrow, Brian Wu on Thursday. And if they can get back on track, we'll have a chance for something special in this series. First pitch to Pete Alonso, high and inside, 1-0 count. And we obviously know Kirby hasn't really been that good the last 2 or 3 starts, and Wu was off in his last start, so it'll be a good opportunity to get back on track. 1-0 pitch, and there for a strike looking. 1 ball and 1 strike from Spire to Alonso. One pitch, low and at the knees. And Alonso got hit. Oh, man. Looks like Alonso got hit maybe on the foot. But did he really get hit, though? All right. Looks like they did get him. All right, Alonso. No challenge there by the Mariners. Alonso's at first with 2 outs. Yeah, but it's about consistency. Kind of right on the top of the toe there. Kind of bad luck. First pitch to Blaze Alexander. Cool name. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. One pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gabe Spire to Blaze Alexander, who is pitch hitting. 1-1 pitch to Alexander. Big swing and a miss. Gabe is locked in, and it's good to see at least some of our guys in the pen that can be locked in. Obviously, Hoppy looked like shit. And again, we've seen some of the guys that normally we trust look off. Like Brash and Ferrer and Bizzardo, and then other guys, that you don't really expect anything to be somewhat okay, but, we'll see what they do here in the 9th. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball into right. There we go, and Victor Robles is there, and that is out number 3. All right, good job, Gabe. And again, it's great to be able to say that, considering our bullpen has been kind of hit or miss depending on who's playing. And let's see who is up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3 and a K, second baseman Ryan Bliss. Batting second, 1 for 4 with a run, right fielder Victor Robles. And batting third, center fielder in the 2-hole, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 41 subs to go to 24,300. We're at 13 on the Dono train, 87 to go. And let's see where we're at on the likes, how close we are to 200. 352 in the room. And we're at 173. We're almost there. $27 to 200. We can do it. Yeah, and I know that Mooney has been unreliable this year, but he pitches better when he pitches not necessarily consecutive days, but, when you don't have a big break in between. The longer you have a break in between Mooney coming in, the worse he does. So if they did decide to bring in Mooney, I don't know if I really feel fully confident. I mean, he was good, obviously, on his last opportunity, but can he do it 2 games in a row? Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I sure as hell hope so, but I would like us to get 1 more run for insurance because, when we're tied and have a 1-run lead, he usually blows it. But when he's, got a, 2-run, 3-run, 4-run lead, he plays better. So we'll see where it goes here. All right, let's go. Ryan Bliss in the box. And I got Wells in the game here for the O's. Tyler Wells. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes from Tyler Wells to Ryan Bliss. 0-2 pitch. And Bliss with a little dribbler. Throw to first. And that is 1 up and 1 down. And Jose Ferrer is in the pen, so that's where they're going to go. Good guess there by Double-A. And we wouldn't want Brash coming in. And, Mooney already pitched, and we don't really know what we would get there. So it looks like Jose Ferrer will be the guy to get hopefully the job done. But he did give up bases loaded the last time he was, up. So I don't know if I'm really that confident in Ferrer. But, Ferrer was a closer for the Nats for half the year. And again, if we were to go to somebody to be our new closer, this year, I think that might be the guy that would probably do the best. 0-1 pitch to Robles, and a little dribbler by Robles, and it skates through. Let's go. Gunnar Henderson can't get to it, and Victor Robles with a single. There we go. Nice job there by Victor Robles, starting off 0 for 3 and now going 2 for 5. Good job, Victor. Way to get hits on your last 2 at-bats. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Ainsley's in here now. 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike to Julio. No balls and 2 strikes from Tyler Wells to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, Julio. See if Julio can get his second hit here before the game ends. Throw to first. And Victor is out. Fuck, man. We are terrible at base running this year. We're getting caught so often at first base. I've never seen the Mariners, run the bag so poorly. Oh, 2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and that is out number 3. All right, Paisley's in here now. All right, hopefully this will be the good Jose, not the bad Jose. All right, Jose Ferrer coming in to hopefully get the win here for the Mariners. We have a 2-run lead, so I guess we have that going for us, but hopefully that'll stay intact. Let's see who's up next here for the Orioles in their last-ditch effort. Here in the bottom of the 9th, 0 for 2 with an RBI, and the 5-hole center fielder, Leody Taveras. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a run and 2 Ks, third baseman Kobe Mayo. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a K, second baseman Jackson Holiday. Right hands up, let's go M's. 41 subs to go to 24,300. 13 on the dono train, 87 to go. And let's see how close we can get 200 likes before this game ends. We got 363 in the room. We're at 181. So if we can get 19 people out of the almost 400 in the room, we'll be at 200. That would be fantastic. Can we get 19 people out of the 365 to hit that like button? And then we'll be at 200, which is a great rounded number. All right, come on, Jose. Let's get the job done. Spire looked good today, and obviously Hoppy looked terrible. But again, he is a AAA pitcher, so you can't expect too much out of him. But would have been nicer to have a 4-1 lead at this point. But again, bullpen is going to win or lose you more games than any other position group. First pitch from Ferrer, and Tavares shows bunt. One-0 count, and being challenged by Garver and overturned to a strike. Good challenge there by Mitch Garver, and now it's an 0-1 count instead of a 1-0 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Leody Tavares. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. Oh, 2 pitch to Tavares. Pop behind the plate towards the bricks. Change up there by Jose Ferrer. 86 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Tavares. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the ninth, 4-2 Mariners. One-two pitch, popped up and out of play. Sinker, 97 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Tavares. One-two pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Jose Ferrer to Leody Tavares. Come on, baby. Finish strong. Time is called by Leody. Should have went and got more water, but we're pretty much here at the end. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Tavares doesn't know what the count is and walks to first. Pump the brakes, Leody. It's a full count, 3-2, not ball 4. Bottom of the ninth, 4-2 Mariners. Pitch timer violation and Leody Tavares is out. Wow. That's crazy. Hey, we'll take that break. If you don't know what the pitch count is and you're going to be walking towards first and you get the violation, that's on you. And we'll take that 1 away. First pitch to Mayo, high and inside, 1-0 count. I mean, that's why it's so important to know, how many outs and, what the pitch count is. You got to make sure that you're on it. Otherwise, it could cost you. 1-0 pitch, popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ferrer to Mayo. And we haven't seen too many outs like that with the pitch timer violation on a 3-2 count, but we'll take it. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Ferrer to Mayo. Two-one pitch in there for a strike. Beautiful pitch there by Jose Ferrer. Great heater there by Jose. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kobe Mayo. Time is called. Reflect in the building. What's good? Two-two pitch from Jose. High and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 9th, 4-2 Mariners. Nice to be able to see players like Josh Naylor with a grand salami yesterday and Mitch Garver stepping up. You know, we had 5 guys out of 9 that are kind of lower tier players playing today, and they got the job done. 3-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. But definitely probably the worst lineup all year, and we still found a way to potentially win this game if we can get these last 2 outs. Three-two pitch. Popped up and out of play there by Mayo again. Count still is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 9th, 4-2 Seattle. George Kirby on the mound tomorrow. Brian Wu on Thursday. And both those guys have struggled recently, but they can get back on track. 3-2 pitch. Holy fuck. Hard hit ball. Deep left field. Back, gone! And just imagine if that other runner would have been on Taveras, the game would be tied. Holy fuck. Now the score is 4-3. Hoppy shitting the bed, and now Jose Ferrer shitting the bed as well. Yikes. Now we only have a 1-run lead with 1 out. Mayo with a 422-foot bomb. And again, you know, no matter who you want, you know, as a closer over Mooney, you know, not a lot of these guys aren't really playing, you know, consistent ball, you know. Sometimes Ferrer is good, sometimes he's not. Sometimes Gabe is good, sometimes he's not. Sometimes Bizardo is good, sometimes he's not. And lately, Brash has been trash. So hopefully we can find a way to still win this game 4-3. Fucking A. Jahmai Jackson coming in now, taking a strike, 0-1 count. Come on, Mariners. Oh, 1 pitch, a little dribbler towards third. Fucking A. Wisdom probably thought that was going to be foul, and no play there. And Jackson is safe at first. Come on, Mariners. Finish the game. Oh. It's never easy with us, is it? Next up is Tyler O'Neill. Definitely need a double play. First pitch. Call the ball. Challenged by Garver. Hopefully this will get overturned. Bottom of the 9th. Runner at first with 1 out. 4-3 Seattle. And good call there by Garver. He's been money on the challenges today. 2 for 2 in this inning alone. Come on, Jose. 0-1 pitch. There we go. Nice pitch, high and inside, painting the corner beautifully. Textbook. No balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to O'Neill. Give us a little slow dribbler up the middle. Cole Young, Ryan Bliss, Josh Naylor, game over. 0-2 pitch, little dribbler towards third and foul. Come on, Mariners. Got to find a way to win this game 4-3. Let's go. Paisley's still in here. Nervous look on her face. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ferrer to O'Neill. Jose Ferrer on the mound. Tyler O'Neill and the box. 1-2 pitch. Hard hit ball at third and foul. Bottom of the 9th. 4-3 Mariners. Runner at first with 1 out. Obviously the bullpen and the injuries have been pretty detrimental to us lately, but the offense is definitely trying to pick up the slack. But we got to be able to finish strong here with Jose Ferrer. 1-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. One ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Come on, baby. One-two pitch. Inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to O'Neill. Two-two pitch. Hard hit ball. Deep right field. Back. Ground rule double. I thought that was going to be a home run. It would have been fucking game over. Jesus. What the hell was going on here? Thankfully, that wasn't a home run, but my God, what the hell is going on here? As soon as that pitch was thrown, I thought, oh God, we just lost. But now we have runners at second and third with 1 out. Come on, Mariner Moose, please. I mean, after Logan was really shaky in the first 2 innings, he pitched well. But obviously, Hoppy and Ferrer shitting the bed here late in the game. And now Woodworth is going to come out. Maybe we should have had Jose pitch in the 8th and Gabe in the 9th, but and obviously we have our feelings about Mooney, but again, it's not just Mooney, that's up and down. It's Jose Ferrer, it's Gabe Spire, it's Edward Bizzardo. Hell, Brash has been shitty and looked like trash lately as well. I mean, it's tough. We don't have to worry about Cooper Criswell. He's on the IL, but, Nick Davila is a AAA pitcher, so is Alex Hoppy, so can't really expect anything from those 2 guys. First pitch there. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Samuel Basayo in the box with runners at second and third and 1 out. Come on, Mariners. 0-1 pitch. Little dribbler towards third and foul. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at second and third and only 1 out. Come on, Mariners. I mean, in 1-run games, I think we're 10-13, but, we had more than a 1-run lead here. 0-2 pitch, little dribbler up the middle. Get it! Throw home. Not in time. Fucking A. And the game is tied. God damn it, man. I'm sick and tired of the fucking bullpen blowing game after fucking game after fucking game. And the bullpen is going to win you or lose you more games than any position group. And, we already have plenty of injuries to Cal and Brendan Donovan, now J.P. Crawford and Colt Emerson. And the last thing that we need with the injuries is the bullpen to shit the bed. And now the game is tied at 4. And we might lose. First pitch is high and inside. 1-0 count to Taylor Ward. Hold on, Paisley. Two-0 pitch. Finally getting a strike. Two balls and 1 strike with runners at first and third and only 1 out. Two-one pitch. Jesus Christ, Ferrer. I mean, it's one thing to have to deal with Mooney, but Brash hasn't looked good lately. Jose had bases loaded the last time he was up, so I didn't know if that was really a good option either, but 3-1 pitch. Finally getting a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Ward. I mean, they might as well call up Cade Anderson from Double-A. I bet he could do better than more than half of the guys that we have in the pen right now. We need help. I mean, poor play, sometimes poor managing, injuries. Definitely is a roller coaster this season. Bottom of the 9th, runners at first and third with 1 out. The game is tied 4-4 in a game that when we were up 4-1, we should have won. And we let them score a run in the 7th and 2 here in the 9th. And now the bases are loaded. You know, and there's a difference between being a good manager and, a below average manager. But obviously you have to look at the innings played and who's played recently and whatnot. But would be nice to be able to have a reliable piece in the bullpen that we can count on. Next up is Gunnar Henderson. Bases loaded with 1 out, and the game is tied. And a little dribbler towards third. Throw home. All right, and we get the force out at home. Thankfully, we had at least a good throw at home, and that is 2 away. O'Neill is out. It's going to take a miracle to win this. And now we just got to pray that we can get out number 3 and we can win this game in the 10th, 11th, or 12th. But so many fucking meltdowns. When we're tied, when we have a 1-run lead, and hell, even when we have 2-run lead, it's not enough. Like, we have to have a 3-run lead or more for us to win. That's ridiculous. The bullpen should be better than that. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Pete Alonso. First pitch, low and at the knees. 1-0 count. Ferrer on the mound. Alonso in the box. 1-0 pitch, inside again. 2 balls and no strikes from Ferrer to Alonso. I mean, hell, if Alonso just doesn't swing, they might just win bringing that home. Runner home from third. But we'll see if Alonso ends up swinging for the fences here. 2-0 pitch. Hard hit ball into right field, out of play. Sinker, 98 miles an hour there by Jose Ferrer. 2 balls and 1 strike with bases loaded and 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning, we're tied at 4 when we had a 4-1 lead, and then it went to 4-2 in the 7th, and now we've given up 2 runs here in the 9th. Come on, Jose. 2-1 pitch, fouled behind the plate to the bricks. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Alonso. Two-two pitch. Hard hit ball into right field, out of play. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th, 4-4, Mariners and Orioles. Mariners were up 4-2 going into the bottom of the 9th. Jose Ferrer has given up 2 runs. Terrible. 2-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Alonso. I don't even know if Ferrer can hit the fucking strike zone. Come on, Jose. Give us a chance to win in extra innings, for Christ's sake. Let's go. Pitch of the game incoming. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Tied at 4. 3-2 pitch incoming here from Jose Ferrer to Pete Alonso. 3-2 pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Get it. Got him. Oh, baby. Oh, my God. Ryan Bliss saving the game. And that was really close. Oh, my. And maybe by a split second, Bliss got on that bag just in time. And thankfully, Jose didn't try to put a mitt on that, and Bliss had enough speed. And again, a head-first slide, but Bliss getting there just in the nick of time. Whew. I need to go get water. I ran out of water like 2 innings ago. I might need it for this game. Oh, my God. And now they're reviewing it. Let's see what they decide to call here. Long review. Great job by Ryan Bliss. All right, confirmed out. All right. Well, Jose shit the bed, but at least that we have a life to live, and we can live for another day here, at least for the 10th, and hopefully we can find a way to get the victory here. Man, oh man. I need to get water here quickly. All right, next up, 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI, DHing Randy Arozarena, batting second, 1 for 3 with a base on ball and a K, Josh Naylor, and batting third, 1 for 4 with a run and a K, left fielder Rob Refsnyder. And let me go grab some water real quick. All right, water is secured, Paisley is fed, and we're going to the top of the 10th inning, and hopefully we can get this victory. All right, Garcia coming in for the O's. Rico Garcia. First pitch strike from Rico Garcia. Julio is the ghost runner at second. Randy Arozarena takes a strike looking. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Randy with a hard hit ball into deep right field and gone! Let's go. Randy Arozarena with a 2-run jack on the second pitch. 6-4 Mariners. Let's fucking go. Unfucking believable. Rico Garcia, who? Let's go. Randy Arozarena, big 2-run jack. 6-4 Mariners. Man, especially after the meltdown that we had by Jose Ferrer giving up 2 runs. I did not expect anybody to hit a home run right there, or maybe even in this inning. Wow. Next up is Josh Naylor. And again, maybe we need to have 3 runs or more to secure a victory. And when we're up by 2, 1, or 0, sometimes we can't win. But when we get up by 3 or more, and we're going to have a good chance now, as Randy is going to play the trident and Julio is on the mic. Let's go. First pitch from Garcia to Naylor, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. Great job by Randy Arozarena, our most consistent hitter from the beginning of the season. Obviously, he hasn't had any injuries either, which is a blessing. We've had plenty of those. Wow. And Naylor with a hard hit ball, but this is going to be in shallow right field. It'll stay in play. And that is 1 away. Next up is Rob Refsnyder. On deck is Patrick Wisdom. Oh, they're going to get Dominic Canzone in the game. Good. All right, we're going to get Dom with an opportunity here to pinch hit for Rob Refsnyder. Let's go, Dom. First pitch to Dominic Canzone in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes from Rico Garcia to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. And Dom has definitely been on a hot streak as of late. Rico Garcia on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. Come on, Dom. See if the Italian stallion can step it up here. 0-2 pitch. Just gets a piece. No balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Great job by Randy Arosarena. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. It's a fucking roller coaster, this fucking team this year. So many emotions, good and bad. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Garcia to Canzone. And normally when you end up giving up 2 runs, you know, the game ends up swinging Uncle Mo momentum to the other team, and you don't usually respond immediately. But thankfully we did with Randy Arosarena. Little dribbler here by Dom. Run, Dom! Throw to first, and just in time. And that is 2 away. Nick Davila is warming up in the pen. And they just recalled him from the Tacoma Rainiers. And speaking of the Tacoma Rainiers, Cal Raleigh hit 2 home runs today in his first game in AAA, a 2-run bomb and a grand salami for a 6 RBI night. And I can't wait until Cal Raleigh comes back to the team. We need him. But Johnny and Garv have done a decent job in his absence for sure. First pitch to Wisdom, fouls it behind the plate, 0-1 count. Top of the 10th inning, 6-4 Mariners. After we had a 4-1 lead, and then they scored 1 in the 7th, and then we were up 4-2 going into the bottom of the 9th. Jose Ferrer giving up 2 runs, and we get 2 runs right back with a Randy Arosarena 2-run jack with Julio on board. 6-4 Seattle. Let's go. 0-1 pitch, low and away, slider 91 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Garcia to Wisdom. It's going to be Nick Davila. We just called him up from AAA today. So not ideal, but that's what we got. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. But when Davila has played, you know, maybe a little bit more trustworthy than Hoppy and Criswell, so I think that he can do it. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 10th, 6-4 Seattle. Trident's up. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball. Deep center field. All the way back to the wall. And caught for out number 3. And Randy Arosarena getting the job done. You never know who's going to be the hero. And I'm sure as hell I'm happy that we got this guy on our team, Randy Arosarena. Ground balls in the left are still an issue, but in the box, he's been magnificent. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 10th. Next up, 0-for-1, Blaze Alexander. Batting second, 0-for-3 with an RBI and a K, Leody Taveras. And batting third, 1-for-4 with 2 runs, an RBI, and 2 Ks, third baseman Kobe Mayo. And Nick Davila, just getting called up from AAA today, is going to be the guy that we have to go with. We're running out of bodies, so hopefully he'll get the job done. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to dig deep and find a way to win this game. 41 subs to get to 24,300. We gained a few. 3 subs, 38 subs to go to 24,300. And how close are we to 200 likes? We got over 400 in the room, 440, so we should be above 200 by now. We're at 227. And we are at 13 on the Dono train, 87 to go. All right, baby, let's win it for Riz. And we'll bust out the Mariner Moose for good luck as well for our AAA Nick Davila. But I feel more confident in Davila than I do in Hoppy and Criswell, so if that means anything. Oh, baby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to find a way to win. Shit. First pitch, and he hits the batter. What the fuck? Really? Davila, what are you doing? My God. First pitch hitting the player in the back? This fucking team, dude. It's never guaranteed. Never. Yikes. Runners now at first and second with no outs. We have a 2-run lead, but for how long? My God. Come on, Nick. I know there's a lot of pressure just getting called up from AAA, but you got to settle down. There you go. First pitch to Tavares, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, popped up, and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and no outs. Come on, Nick. Oh-2 pitch and a fucking hit. Are you kidding me? Runners coming home and scores 6-5 Seattle. My God, we might end up losing this. Jesus. Even with a 2-run jack by Randy Arosarena, we can't win? I'm going to need fucking therapy after this. Bottom of the 10th. Now it's 6-5 Seattle. Can the bullpen just pitch fucking good for once? Runners now at first and third with no outs, and we're hanging on to just a 1-run lead. Well, that's what happens when you have so many injuries and poor play out of the bullpen. Next up is Kobe Mayo. First pitch to Mayo, in there for a strike, 0-1 count. It's not ideal when you have to bring in 2 AAA guys at the end of the game. So that's where we're at. 0-1 pitch. High and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Nick Davila to Kobe Mayo. Runners at first and third with no outs. Bottom of the 10th, Mariners barely hanging on to a 1-run lead. One pitch. Popped him up. Get that ball. Who's getting it? Jesus! And Bliss with a diving grab. Have some communication out there, Mariners. And again, even though this is only the second game for Ryan Bliss, he has saved us numerous times from failure. And again, normally a AAA guy like Leo Ribas, but he's showing that he might deserve to be on this team. You know, even if it's just a rotational guy once JP Crawford comes back. Great job there by Ryan Bliss. I mean, was Bliss going to get it? Was Naylor going to get it? And thankfully, Bliss didn't give up on the play. Diving grab, and thankfully the runner didn't tag up from third and come home. And now we at least have an out, 1 away. Next up is Jeremiah Jackson. Little dribbler towards third by Jeremiah Jackson. 0-1 count. Jackson in the box. Davila on the mound. Bottom of the 10th. Runners at first and third with 1 out. Little dribbler towards third. Get it. Throw home. Get him. Got him. Yes. Woo! What a play. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Great throw at home, and the runner is out. 2 away. And let's see if the O's challenge. Nice job there by Patrick Wisdom. Are you fucking kidding me? And he has to make the running play and a good, accurate throw for the most part. Pretty close. And we already had one of these earlier that went our way, but will this one go in our favor? Throw was a little off, as I'm seeing the replay, a little wide left, but it'll be interesting to see after the replay if they will call him out or safe here. I mean, the other one, he looked safe, and they called him out after the replay, so. But it looks like he does get his hand in before the tag, but that's what it looked like on the previous play. It's close. But the ump is looking right there at the play, and the initial call was out on the other one as well. And he's right like 1 foot away. So I'm not sure if they'll have enough to overturn it. But we will see. I mean, the last time that we had that play happen, it could have went either way, And I don't know. Ty doesn't really go to the runner anymore. Can we get a zoom in on the hand and the plate? Yeah! Runner is out! Fuck yeah! About damn time when we end up getting a couple of these bang-bang 50-50 plays to go fucking our way. Huge. Let's go. I mean, if he was called safe, then, he probably would have been safe, but he was called out. So, same thing happened earlier in the game at home, and again, you got to be able to go based on the call of the ump, and we get a call to go our way, and now that's 2 away with runners at first and second and 2 outs. We might be able to win this game 6-5 if we're lucky. Let's go, Davila. Next up is Tyler O'Neill. First pitch to O'Neill. Takes a strike right down the middle. 0-1 count. Momentum is starting to shift slightly from the O's now to the M's. Bottom of the 10th. 6-5 Mariners. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Come on. Trident's up. 0-1 pitch. In there for another strike. Davila's finding the rhythm. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. 1 more strike, and we can win this game. Let's go. O's are challenging, but they're going to lose that challenge. Final strike to end this game. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Xavier in the building. What's good? Come on, Nick. 0-2 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tyler O'Neill. Only 8th big league game for Nick Davila, a AAA pitcher that called up this afternoon. 1-2 pitch. High and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Nick Davila to Tyler O'Neill. Come on, Mariners. Let's go, baby. And time is called. Steps off the plate. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 10th, 6-5 Mariners. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Got him! Strike 3, missing. Woo! Let's go! Wow, big swing and a miss Down goes O'Neill, and I'm going to need therapy after this one. Golly. I mean, so many moments back and forth with this team, some good, some bad, you know, these peaks and valleys and these ups and downs. Gosh, I mean, the emotions are always so, you know, really, really, you know, highs, but the lows are really, really low. But somehow, some way, after Ferrer gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th, we found a way to win this game 6-5 with a AAA pitcher that got called up a few hours ago. Wow. Good job there by Nick Davila. And shout out to Randy Arosarena for getting that big 2-run bomb. Otherwise, we lose this game. Huge. Unbelievable. Big, big, big win. We'll go over the stats here in a moment. Man, oh man. I mean, again, we should have won this game in regulation. We were up 4-2, but, you know, I guess the Mariners have a thing for the dramatics, I guess, right? Nice job by Nick Davila, even though he hit the batter on the first pitch. Randy Arosarena, the hero at the end. And the final score, Mariners 6, Orioles 5 and 10. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win! Mariners win! Mariners win! Fuck yeah! All right, let's go over the stats now. We'll start it off with the O's. Gosh, giving me a fucking heart attack every fucking game. All right, Taylor Ward, 1 for 4 with a run. Gunnar Henderson, 0 for 5, which is rare. Pete Alonso, 1 for 4 with a run. Colton Cowser, 0 for 2. Leody Taveras, 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Kobe Mayo, 1 for 5 with 2 runs, a home run and an RBI. Jackson Holiday, 1 for 3. Tyler O'Neill, 1 for 4. And Sam Huff, 1 for 2. And then let's go on the flip side for the Mariners. Victor Robles, 2 for 5 and a run. Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 5 and a run. Randy Arosarena, 3 for 5 with 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and a big home run to win the game for us. Tridents up, Randy Arosarena. Josh Naylor, 1 for 4. Rob Refsnyder, 1 for 4 with a run. Patrick Wisdom, 1 for 5. Mitch Garver, another hero of the game, 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a 3-run jack earlier in the game to give us the lead. Cole Young, 0 for 4. And Ryan Bliss, 1 for 4. What a game. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. And Dawn with a 20. Definitely one of the best games of the year. Appreciate you. $20 holla from our guy, Dawn. Appreciate you, Dawn, very, very much. And that puts us at 33 on the dono train. Thank you so much, man. Oh, man. And then we got George Kirby on the mound tomorrow. And then we got Brian Wu on Thursday. And both of those guys have struggled recently. There's no ands or buts around it. But I do believe that they can both get back on track. And again, what a team effort, And again, it's not ideal when you have to go with a couple AAA players. Reflect with the 3 here at the very end as well. Appreciate you. But again, you just got to dig deep and find a way. Appreciate you. Oh, man. When we had that 4-2 lead and then I saw, the game go to 4-4, I didn't know. We've had so many, kind of low moments on the season. I didn't know if we had it in us, with what we had left in the pitching staff to get the victory. And no one anticipated Randy hitting a home run there. And thankfully he did. And we were able to find a way to win this game by just barely 6-5 in 10. I'm definitely going to be able to go on a nice victory walk here with the pup in a little bit. I'm going to rest my voice too. Got to drink a lot of water. But one of the best games of the year, no doubt about that. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I'm happy that everything is working again here with the program. Obviously had a few days where I had to kind of improvise, but all the photos are loading properly now, so we don't have any issues there. Final score, Mariners 6, Orioles 5 in a thriller in 10. And again, I will be live tomorrow, 3:30 Pacific, with George Kirby on the mound, and hopefully he can turn it around since he's been off the last 3 starts, and then Brian Wu on Thursday. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up and go Mariners.